Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Scratching Post. We scratch at that gaming itch. It is, of course, Sunday, and that means if I'm streaming on Sunday, there can only be one thing, and it's time for more action in a galaxy far, far away. And of course, joining me are my players for this week, Sans1. We have, of course, going through the cast in order. We have David, otherwise known as Doctor, as Trix.
Long time no see, but back in action for this one at least.
We, of course, you know him as Scarfulu, and Connor playing Helene Uvasto.
Hello there.
And, of course, he is the Burr, playing Roslos Nuba.
That was a loss of a great Kuberfish juice, that was.
And finally, Shadow Phoenix Rider playing Sky, the ever confused and worried Sky.
I'm critically injured.
You're not the only one, as unfortunately we had Sans Lemming today, because Lemming's not feeling too well. So the show must go on, but here we are, playing some more Star Wars and having some fun and frolics in a galaxy far, far away. So, who wants to recap what happened last time?
I'll do it if anybody doesn't mind.
What
So,
horrors
started-
befell you last time?
So we had a really awkward dinner with Uncle Strahd, right? It was very awkward. He was being mean to us, and he was trying to convince Haylene to stay with us, and the rest of us weren't too cool with that. And there might have been a little bit of force tricking involved, which did not go well. To the point where he told Helene that Das killed her husband.
This is a
So
lie.
she very appropriately decided to stab him in the neck. This didn't go well. Sky got very cross and slapped a plate. It's in Strahd's direction, and the fight was on. And it went kind of badly, really, because Strahd is a very powerful force user with 2 lightsabers or 1, I can't remember. There were a lot of blades flying around. He could warp the environment to his will, and also as his party trick, he could slop energy out of people to.
Yeah, he definitely does a very bad suck.
Yes, and also his butler droid IGOR was there, also being terrible and giving us many critical injuries and trying to set me on fire. It was not fun. We did eventually manage to kill him, and well, he got us down very badly. And Sky eventually managed to grab his lightsaber and stab him through the back, and he exploded, as dark users tend to do. And we freed the land of its curse. Yay! We brought balance to the Force, and then Palpatine showed up. So we decided, as he does. So we decided, very appropriately, we were going to leave post haste. So we left and we stole Strahd's ship, and now we have escaped the planet, and now we're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and we don't know where to go.
Okay,
We don't know where to go, but we have a party we need to attend to, but from IG-88. So we need to find out where we are.
Yeah. So let's get that Destiny roll going. I've just sent all the message to you, so all click to roll for Destiny points, and we'll assemble that pool. Already off to a great start. Great start, everyone.
Woo! Yay! I actually could.
Fantastic. Look, pressure's on, David. Your pressure is on. What do you know? It's full house.
The Force is with us.
What did you do to the dice, El?
Do you know what? I'm actually going to test that, because that does seem very unlikely. No, I've just rotten. Yeah, it's working. It's working fine. So I'm going to remove.
But you only got 1.
That's fine. I'm going to remove that dark side. It apparently, yeah. You guys, what are the odds of players roll? Only one side of the dice has 2 light on it. What are the odds of 4 players?
Bloody deserve it after all the
Let me be kind to yourself in the chat. I see you.
How many sides are there on the dice?
There
I can sort of work.
There are 10
10
sides, aren't
sides.
they?
There are 10-sided dice, yes.
So it's 1 in 10 times 1 in 10 times 1 in 10 times. So it's about what 1?
Yeah, 1 in 1,000. Yeah.
1 in 100. 1 in
Wow.
No, it's more. It's worse than that. It's
One in
about
10,000.
1 in about 10,000 chance. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very rare. Wow, I'm impressed.
I wish we could use that to win the lottery.
You know, that's probably a bad sign. If it's all coming up white sides, that means there's going to be some very bad rolls now.
It could be
Like,
the
you're
So
gonna
if we
need
all
yeah,
die,
it could be the
if we all die later, we know why.
it could be the game saying you're gonna need
The-
these.
Yeah.
Right. So
False likes it in the balance.
I'm gonna also roll for Destiny sans Das because he's not here naturally. Actually, I think I can. Yes, I can do it without him here. Cool, fantastic. Because he has to be logged in to actually do it. So let's roll. 35. What a surprise! Sky's betray. This time the Sky's betrayal obligation is triggered.
So we gone from your
Wait, wasn't my no?
bounty.
wasn't-
It was
yeah.
your other one.
Oh, of course.
triggered
So now
last
I've got
time.
two triggered it.
The
now.
other one.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna fucking leave.
Okay, everyone, make sure to compare and make sure you don't doubly decrease your threshold. Check what your threshold should be, and deduct 2 from it from yourself, Sky, and 1 for everyone else. It was 35.
I
Yes,
think mine is still fine because I haven't touched it, so I think it should be okay.
I don't know
Oh.
what mine is.
So okay, it says I'm on 2 wounds and 9 strain. Should I be lowering that? I think so.
No, you lower
Right.
the threshold.
It's the threshold.
Oh, the threshold.
Yeah, you lower the threshold of your
Oh,
strength.
oh,
Your
oh.
strength. Yeah, so you've got less of a threshold to work with. Just make
Okay.
sure that you are not doubly, because you could have done that last time. Make sure your threshold is where it should have been. So always keep a note on what your threshold should be.
I have a note
to compare
somewhere.
against.
I have no idea.
If you need to find
I
out,
think I did.
I believe it's your willpower
Okay.
plus. Yes.
It's normally 12, so yeah, that's
Yeah, I don't think I decreased mine when you rolled Destiny last time. So
Okay.
that's probably my first decrease.
it decreases by
If-
1, was it?
Yes, apart from Sky, who gets decreased by 2 because it's her
Okay.
obligation.
Right, and then do my wounds and strain heal as well? I don't know if I've.
No, we are gonna get to
No,
like the
okay.
storyline purposes. So no time has
Okay.
passed between the last session.
Great.
Speaking of, let's all discuss. So, XP spending. Let's go through like what you guys have spent XP on, just so the audience can be fully informed of what you've been spending it on. So, David, you've not been with us for a while. What has changed with tricks in terms of abilities and things, if anything?
Well, I had a bit of a pleasant surprise. I actually found that I still kept my experience from the last time. I had 12 left to spend, and I've spent 10 of them, so I haven't got any room for anything else. But I did pick up a resolve, which is on my senator tree, which is when a character involuntarily suffers strain, they may suffer 1 less per rank of resolve to a minimum of 1. However, it's involuntary, not voluntary, say, for example, for additional actions or anything else like that. And then I had enough to pick up grit, which gives me another 1 to my strain threshold. So
Okay.
I would be 17. I'm now at 16.
I mean, that's what a talking character does. They make sure they're strain threshold. Can anyone hear that ding?
Yeah, I can hear it as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
I wonder where it's coming from.
Burr, do you have a?
It could have been my tablet. Let me turn off the noises.
Oh yeah, I just didn't know where that was coming from because I'm pretty sure it wasn't me, and I just want to double check. That wasn't just me going insane. Right. So that's fantastic. Any other changes or just those?
Just those.
All right. Cotter, have you invested in XP for Helene, or are you saving it?
I haven't yet, but I would like to sit with you and buy a couple things.
Oh, okay. And
That's
well,
that's what I mean.
I mean, there's no
That's what I
time like the present. I mean, is there anything you had in mind or wanted to discuss?
I that's the thing I don't know. I want to discuss it with you.
Right then. Well, see me after class. Moving on. Burr, Roslos, any changes for him?
Yes, so I was saving and saving and saving XP until I finally got around 40.
Oh, okay.
39 to be exact. And I spent 25 on the promised Force Conjure. so that I now have Force Conjure.
Ah, you now have Conjure as a force ability. Nice.
Yes. And then I spend also 10 on improving my melee skill from 0 to 1.
Okay, so you now have a yellow and 2 greens in melee rather than just 3 greens. Great. For the
Yes.
audience, Conjure, the force ability, would you mind reading off what it does, please?
Yes, let me just get to my powers and read what the Force Conjure is. Okay, so the Force user calls for the spectral object to the hand, which lasts for a short time. The user may spare the Force Pip to generate a facsimile of a brawl or melee weapon with the following profile, and the profile says that it's crit 3. It doesn't really show. It's Cortosis 7. It's just for some reason damage 0, encumbrance 0.
Yes, so
Not sure why.
it only does the damage of the successes that you roll, effectively. But it's
Okay, yeah.
Cortosis, so it can't be affected by Sunder, but it does have a critical rating of 3.
Yes. And the item appears anywhere within short range of the user. The item functions as normal, but at the end of the user's next turn, the item dissipates. If the item is moved beyond short range of the Force user, it also immediately dissipates. At the GM's discretion, the user can also conjure a simple tool or other useful low-tech item that has the encumbrance of no greater than one this way.
Yeah, so for
So
anyone...
I can conjure some sonic screwdriver or a knife or a pair of dust knuckles.
Yeah, you're using the force and other things to literally create something from nothing. But it only lasts for a short while. It's like a spectral object. Think Night Sister like weapons that they use within their time. Cool. I'm very interested in how you're going to use that ability. I think it's one of those tool abilities that yeah, you can use it for a weapon, but what is very interesting is the versatile nature of that ability.
Yes.
Next, Shadow, Sky. What have you done with Sky? Other than trauma.
I have. Yeah, and you're going to give me some more this session as well. I bought a talent in my specialization tree, another grit talent, so that's an extra +1 to my strain threshold. And then I bought a rank in Xenology from 0 to 1, and another rank in Discipline from 1 to 2, if it's either 0 to 1 or 1 to 2, I can't remember.
What did you buy a ranking? The last one was that after Xenology?
Discipline.
Discipline.
From 0 to 1.
Yes. So you increased it from 0 to 1. Yeah, that's useful. Discipline is imperative for force powers, and also
resisting for it. Basically, I thought like all this resisting of force visions. I would have thought that Sky managed to get some ability from that.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's perfectly reasonable for a Jedi to have good discipline, so I think that makes sense. Fantastic. Well, we've now gone through the changes to the character since last time in terms of mechanical benefits. Let us switch to the scene. That beeping is still happening. Is anyone? Is it? Is it Burr or is it or is it me or is it someone else?
I haven't heard it.
Yeah. Now I haven't heard it anymore.
Give me a second. No, fine. Okay, never mind. My imagination. Right, let's move over to the next scene.
Ooh.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so this is the ship that you stole from Strahd's underground lair.
Oh,
this is a Hawk 1000. It is larger than the Hawk 290 series. It is a prototype vessel that, at least at the time when Strahd gained a hold of it, and its name is the Fortune.
I love it.
So yeah, you're now in hyperspace. Feel free to explore, ask questions about the ship if you have any questions, and interact with each other about what just happened. Because we literally join you as you guys have jumped into hyperspace after leaving atmosphere.
Ah.
Are there any comfy seats around?
So there's the pilot seat that Sky is in here. There is a auxiliary co-pilot here. Also against
Okay.
the wall, there are 3 like fold down seats for like passengers, or there are
Okay.
bunks back here, which I put Roslos on because and I'm gonna put Das on because he was injured effectively.
I'm gonna pull down all 3 of the fold downs and lie across. Just,
Understandable.
oh man. Ah.
Well, that was a thing that happened.
It would happen to us. It would.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you all right, Helene? I know Strahd did something to you.
I'm all right now. Oh, it's like I'm feeling a little stiff. Oh, I just need to lie down for a bit.
Yeah, I'm.
Russell is trying to lie completely flat on the floor, just resting. Like we might all need a doctor.
Yeah.
Sorry, who?
Huh. Yeah, Das and I didn't come out of that too well.
The record we're treating Das as that he's unconscious in the bunk, back there.
Yeah.
Well, at least you got a ship out of it.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a nice ship. Nicer than the other one, I guess.
yeah. We
Yeah.
better not crash this one either.
Oh, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Vance,
Don't.
Vance would want
Don't.
some shit back.
Look, whatever happened last time, I don't know what happened last time, but that wasn't anything I don't think anybody could have controlled.
Well, no, but I just don't want it to be jinxed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's not tempt fate. Fate has had enough with us already.
You do notice that in your haste, Sky, you have already set the navigomputer to your original destination of Mawan, and it's saying there that you're going to be there in about 12 hours, effectively, in hyperspace. So this is going to give you guys a chance to rest, if you wish. Resting will heal all strain, and will also heal a single wound. It will not heal a critical injury. That requires a week's worth of rest. So that is the time, but this is the perfect opportunity for any role playing to happen between anyone that wishes to engage with it. Bear in mind that you probably all have a lot to discuss.
Can I do anything medicinally?
Oh, I mean, you
help
may.
with-
Of course, you may do a check. I mean, okay. So first of all, to establish, do you have medical tools or any kind of tools available?
I think we've established that I don't. Does the ship have medical tools?
I think I think we might have somebody who might be able to make a medical tool.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how complicated what kind of medical tool? Because I don't think I can conjure a stim pack.
Yeah,
I could probably
No.
conjure a hydro spanner,
Uh,
but that's hardly medical.
I mean,
Does-
I will say you've got 8 light side points on there. You could very easily
Yeah.
flip one of them and say, "Oh, there's a med pack on the ship."
I want to see if
Well-
there's a med bay on the ship or anything like that. Anything kind of like a medical, either that or like a little like a first aid box on the wall. Anything to that sort of
Yep.
degree.
Well, like I say, if you flip the destiny point, I'd say that you could find a first aid box in the
Alright.
fresher on the wall.
Great.
So you flip like I said about it. So yeah, so you now can get a med pack. A med pack is something which you can find in the medicines and drugs section. It basically allows you to perform medical procedures without penalty and actually grants you a boost die, so long as you're carrying it. However, it is an encumbrance 2 item. It is like an actual pack. So yeah, it's worth to consider that.
Very cool.
Well, if needs be, I am more than happy to carry that with me because I I think if I remember correctly, about 6 or 7 points worth of encumbrance on me that I could use.
Oh, fair.
How do I add an item? I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Okay, yeah, of course, absolutely. So if you open your character sheet and then go to
Yeah.
your inventory, if you grab the item, the med pack, and drag it to your sheet, it will then add itself to the gear section of your sheet.
Okay. I need to find the item then. Okay.
Yeah, which if you search in as med pack, you should come up with it.
Oh, great. Is it all one word?
All one word: MEDPAC.
Ah, okay. Oh, am I searching in the wrong place? Hold on.
It's the little briefcase between the 3 people and
Yes.
the book.
Okay, yeah, I am on that one. I don't seem to be finding med pack.
It isn't.
Oh, C. Sorry, I put a K in. That's my bad. Okay, got it.
In
I was
fairness,
just-
it's
I
been
was
spelled
spelling it wrong.
both ways in
Yeah.
Star Wars canon.
So
Right,
yes,
I have it.
there you go. And so long as you're carrying that, that will basically. Please make sure to mark that on your encumbrance. It should have already done that, but just in case.
Okay. I think it has. Yeah. I don't have a lot. That's 0. That's
Crazy over encumbrance.
Easy way to check is to simply delete it. Yep, it's already accounting for it because it's when I deleted it, it set it to 2, and now it's down to 4. So yeah, you're fine. So yeah,
okay.
there you go.
Good.
So yeah,
Right.
now you've got that, you can perform medical checks, and you won't suffer the 2 setback dice for doing medical checks. In fact, you'll get a boost die because you got a medical pack.
All right? Who needs desperate attention then?
I am pretty
I
roughed
think-
up, but I don't know if Das needs it more than I do. I have 2 critical injuries, and he.
Let's both go back, and I'll see what I can do for both of you.
Yeah, good idea. Rostos, watch the helm for me, please.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, it's so the ship is in hyperspace, so you don't need to actually do anything, Roslos. However, the ship will indicate if it's going to come out of hyperspace at any point, which you'll get a beeping.
Yep.
Kind of.
Roslos will say kind of awkwardly when you said done me some I want some help too, but my keep the help for now. And I go
I'll be back.
groaning because I'm literally halfway to death, trying to sit at the helm, watch all the beeping lights and controls, and not to crash us into anything in hyperspace.
All right then. So we have Sky. How bad are you injured, Sky?
I have 2 critical injuries. One is discouraging wound, which is 1 purple dice, and the other is scattered senses, which is 2 purple dice. I think we should probably try for the 2 first.
Okay.
Well, also you've got wounds as well. Don't forget.
Yeah, I also have 8 wounds, and my threshold is 12.
So, Helene, you're able to do a check to do 2 medical checks on Sky.
Okay.
You can do a medical check to heal the wounds, and you can do a medical check to heal each critical once. If you fail to heal the critical, then it cannot be attempted again for a week. Try yourself.
Okay. I'm going to try the critical first. The 2 purple.
All right, 2
On
purple.
the worst one.
Yep, let's get
So that would be.
It's
Do I get a boost for this?
You do need to get a boost. You've got the medical pack. It gives you a boost.
Okay.
Which I don't know if it will include it in there, but make sure to include it, and we'll if there's an extra one, then we can figure it out.
So I've got my ability dice, the 2 purple, and the boost.
Yes.
Great. That looks not good.
Yeah, we failed.
All right.
But we did have some advantages.
Yeah, that is a failure. But you do have 3 advantages. Now,
Okay.
the three advantages can be used in a multitude of ways when doing a check like this. Let's have a look and see what options are available for the skill description. So, for a medical check or medicine check, you can eliminate a strain from the target, or you can even heal a strain yourself as per the normal rules. Or you can suggest something else. I mean, 3 advantage is not a small amount.
I'd like to, if possible, use that as an extra boost to wound healing.
Yeah, you could spend
the roll.
two to give yourself a boost to the next check that you make. You could
Yeah.
also you could also technically spend 1 to give the next person to do a move a boost, technically giving you an extra 2 boost if you wish, but it would use all 3. Or you can spend 1 strain on 1 and then take 2 for a boost. It's up to
Okay.
you.
I think I'll heal 1 strain because I don't know if anything's going to give me strain before I get to sleep. And my strain is very high right now.
Yeah.
And I will use the other 2 to give a boost to the wound healing check that I'm about to do.
Makes sense.
That's yeah. Okay, so I will try to do some wound healing now with my
Alright
medicine
then.
check. So I do the first one. I'm not quite able to heal a critical injury, but it gives me a little bit of knowledge to kind of figure out how it's best to treat the wounds that are there.
Yeah, as you're kind of fumbling through the medical kit, just kind of using what you can based on your very limited knowledge of first aid.
Right.
I mean,
What's
you've
difficulty on this then?
well, is that you doing the other critical, or are you just doing wounds now?
I'm doing wounds.
In that case, are you over halfway to your threshold, Sky?
I'm over half. Yeah.
In that case, it's 2 purple dice again.
2 purple dice, but I've given myself an extra bump, so I can either downgrade the difficulty or upgrade my dice. Is that right?
You've got 2
Mm,
boosts.
You
I
got
think.
2 boosts
Or
because
2
you got
boosts.
'cause you
2
got
boosts. Okay, that makes more sense.
yeah, you got 1 from the medical check and 1 from the advantage.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, look at that!
That's
Nice.
nice. All right.
That's a big success.
So the 4 successes
Okay.
means that Sky can heal 4 wounds out of the 12, the 8 that she's
Neat.
got.
Uh-huh.
And
you.
for the advantage, again, you can heal a strain yourself, or you can have Sky heal a strain. It's entirely up to you.
I'll have Sky heal a strain on that one.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you say I'm also able to attempt the other critical?
Yep, you can. As per the medical rules, you can heal. You can attempt to heal each critical once. However, if you fail, you cannot attempt. It cannot be attempted by that person for a week.
Okay, so this is a 1 purple critical.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll attempt this one as well. I'm just gonna do all this. I'm gonna try my best to patch everybody up.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's not
No.
good.
With an advantage.
Looks like my crits are staying.
It kind of just makes sense because critical injuries are more severe than wounds. And you've probably you've had children.
We're both tired.
I'm gonna use that advantage to heal a strain.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's fair. It's fair.
So, so again, Sky, for clarity, you still have those crits. You do not suffer the effect of those crits anymore, but they are still
But they're
there.
just there.
Yeah.
So I better
They're
not
there
get into
for
any fight.
your modifiers.
Yeah, so they will modify any other crits coming your way.
Lovely.
Okay. I'm just kind of like looking over this and like going, I'm sorry I couldn't do more.
No, it's fine. We did the best we could. You did the best we can. I think I need to hope that they've got a med center, or some medical bay where we get where we're going.
I used to know so much more about medicine. Just watching my mum do stuff.
Really?
She's a doctor, you see.
I see.
That's how I know all these things about medicine. It's just I picked it up when I was younger, and some of it has stuck. But clearly, I need to.
You're rusty.
On a lot.
You're rusty, and it's not your field of profession. So over years,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you've done very well for what you've done. I mean, if it wasn't for you, I don't think we would have come through that fight at all.
Well, if it had gone on any longer, I don't think I would have made it through it just from the stress.
How is Haleen
Yeah.
feeling about the fact that Das is currently unconscious and she's partly to blame for that?
Well, guilty, concerned. I will be tending a Das next.
I guess.
I can help you with that. I think I have 1 point in medical, so I could also try and attempt his critical injuries as well, but only if you want me to.
Interesting. Now, this is actually interesting where it might be beneficial for Sky to do it. And I say that, Helene, because of your species ability.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Always good thing to kind of remember those and consider them, which I'm going to pull up, and for the sake of the audience, I'll provide context. Species ability for the Togrutan, which is the pack instinct. When performing the assist maneuver, Togrutas grant 2 boost dice instead of 1.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I
So
know.
that's that'll be 3 boost minimum on each of these checks.
So I could lend you my med pack, right, as well.
You could learn the med
Yeah,
pack.
because
Sky would be
Yeah.
having to do
Yeah.
her role, unless I mean, what is your medical check there, Sky?
I have 1 rank in medicine,
Do you have one
so
rank
I'd
in
be
medicine as well,
one.
Helene?
Yeah, I've got a 1.
In that case, you would provide unskilled assistance, so you would provide the extra 2 boost dice. So yeah.
All right. I will assist you, and yeah,
Yeah, let's
see what we
let's
can
get.
do.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him patched up. He's gone through a rough time.
All right, I'm gonna pull
He
up
saved me
Das's
from.
profile.
Yeah,
All right,
I
Das
dragged him into
is
that fight with the raptor. So.
just under
Well,
his threshold.
that is groaning in unconscious. Like, so
Um,
cold.
He has
No, no.
No.
Oh no!
No.
Flash in joke for silly voices. He has only 1 crit, but it is a 3 dice crit. He's also halfway over his wound threshold at 13 out of 14. So
Bloody hell.
it's going to be easier to heal the wounds, but there is that 1 crit. But it's only 1 crit. It doesn't matter the severity. It's still only a plus 10. So
I think we need to get that wound threshold down. Oh,
Yeah,
we need to get those wounds down right now.
let's do it.
again, that's
Okay,
2 purple
so-
dice because he's over half of his threshold.
So no, that's a knowledge skill. I need that. 2 purples
Mm-hmm.
and 2 boost die.
3 boost die, isn't it?
It would be
1 for
1 for the medical
yeah.
pack, 1 and 2 for pack instincts.
Yeah, 3
Yeah.
boost.
Let's go.
Oh, it's not as good as you probably would
Nice.
like, actually. I mean, it's a success,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, you heal based on the number of successes you roll.
So that's
So-
1.
Yeah, it's one. Yeah, I mean, it's 1 less than but it's not as successful as. I mean, you had the dex tag. You did, however, roll quite a lot of advantage. What would you like to do with the 2 advantages that you did roll?
I'll take 1 strain from Lee and 1 strain from Das. If I can
Right.
do that.
Yeah, that is perfectly acceptable. So you'll take a strain from Das. Effectively, he's way too hurt. There's not small you can do. Basically, you can clear up some bruises, but he's very very in a bad way.
Yeah,
He need-
can we
he-
try for the can we try for the crit at
Yeah,
least?
of course. Yeah, nothing stop you from trying for the crit. So you may attempt the crit. This is where you roll 6 successes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm going. I'm just hoping I don't roll like too badly. Okay, so the 3 boost again, I presume.
Yep. As long as Helene is providing assistance, which I don't see why she wouldn't.
I am.
That is a
Oh, no.
failure.
Oh no.
With 4
well.
advantage, though, again,
Mhm.
not an insignificant number of advantage.
I mean, I'll take 2, and I'll take 2 strain off with those 2 advantage.
Sure, yeah,
What
absolutely,
else
yeah.
can I do with the other 2?
Well, you could grant a boost dice specifically to the next check done to heal wounds on Das, which won't be for a while, but we can note that down on Das with a marker. Let's have a look here. There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, can I ask what his current strain number is?
Yeah, because you took 2 off, didn't you? Or took 1 off, didn't you?
Yeah,
it's-
I've taken 1.
His strain off is not bad. It's currently at 5 out of 12.
5 out of 12, so just underneath halfway.
And don't forget, technically he's resting, so he is going to heal most of the strain anyway.
Yeah, so I'll give him the boost dice for the future.
Cool. Right then, there we go. So he is kind of just asleep at this point, under anesthetic.
We've done the best he can, but he really needs medical attention more than I do.
He needs a back to tank, is what he needs.
Yeah. We're gonna need to put him in a back to tank. If there's one if there's one there.
Yeah. Is there a back to tank on this ship?
No, the ship is not equipped with a back to tank. You can get one. I'm not saying you can't. You can actually you could buy back to tanks, but they're not cheap. They're about 10,000 credits a pop.
Phew.
But that could be a worthwhile investment somewhere down the line, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
being able to heal like this on a travel could be just so good, just to have in a having a pinch for a situation like this.
Absolutely.
I think we just let him rest for the time being.
Yeah.
And I will feel the back of Das's like forehead with the back of my hand, like reaching his temperature. See if he's doing all right.
Uh-huh.
He's kind of.
Is his temperature normal?
Oh, he's normal. He's not going to get
Okay.
worse, but it's more a case that there's just a lot of wounds there, and a couple of broken bones.
Yeah. Bandaged him up and
Yeah.
put the put the broken bones like sort of aside, like so they can heal. Just have to let him heal. I think it's the best we can do right now.
What is
Yeah.
what is Roslos and Trix doing right now? Let's shift over to those.
So Roslos is in the haze of exhaustion, trying to figure out how the controls on a spaceship are similar to what he knows, which is the piloting planetary vehicles. Because he's piloted many Hyblimber and speeders, but he's not any proper skills in spaceships. So she's figuring out which one is the clutch, which one is the gas.
I was about to say it's like being in a car and suddenly being in a plane and like having to kind of, it's a very different kind of it's got a similar kind of layout but nothing concrete. Are you in the pilot seat or are you in the co-pilot's position?
I think I'll be in the pilot seat because just in case.
For reference, the co-pilot
to
seat
have it
is
closer to all the.
Because the pilot seat is actually raised up. You have to step up and onto it. It's a bit like a bus seat almost, where you have to step up into like an extra area and control.
No, in that case, I'm definitely Russell is definitely the co-pilot seat because he's all battered up. He has
that
over 2/3 of threshold both in wounds and strain. So getting up to the pilot seat is way too much.
Whereas you can get just down into the co-pilot seat because the co-pilot seat is down and low.
Well, you say that at that point. I would say at this point, Trix would notice how badly Roslos is struggling with this, and I would wander straight over to him and say, "I think you need to get healed up as well. I'll take this shift."
No. I might just need a stim pack of Mabi. Fine. I got this. You wanna
Roslos. Roll.
You still wanna be pilot?
Roll a resilience check for me, please, Roslos.
Alrighty.
2 purple dice.
Resilience. I'm just looking where the resilience is on.
Oh dear, this is gonna go so well.
There it is. 2 purple.
2 purple.
Okay. Yep.
Ooh. So as you're kind of waving that away, you have lost a lot of blood as you kind of somewhat kind of stumble and nearly smack your head on the actual control panel as you clearly you're definitely not in a great position, and Trix is well aware of that.
I have one advantage, so that means I don't press anything while I bang my head on the console.
No. That would be more like a threat or despair. It's fine. You can use that advantage to heal a strain, though.
At which point,
I would like that.
Trix has noticed the fact of that you mentioned the word stim pack and wanders over and injects you with one, because I've got 3 of my own currently.
Woo!
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that definitely helps, and that gets me below half of my wounds.
Also, I've removed your fear condition, Roslos, because you're no longer in a fear state for that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's what I needed.
Perfectly all right.
I can with a bit, My okay day now. I can focus on not getting us stranded in hyperspace or anything. And I'm back to looking at controls. I don't fully understand them all, but I want them to be still within the boundaries, within the normal parameters.
Yeah, there's no kind of like red lights. In fact, the
Mm.
ship it seems to be in very good condition. It's almost
Mm.
almost brand new, well maintained. It doesn't show. In fact, if
It's
anything,
only been taken out to fly to church on Sunday.
yeah. In fact, it is even for a ship that's probably about 20, 30 years old. It's like new, like it's barely been used, but well maintained. Presumably by droids, you ascertain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's clean as well, which is what you didn't expect, and well appointed. It's definitely not. It's a freighter. It's not a transport ship.
Mm.
Because you know this from the cargo ramp that you saw on your way there, but has at least amenities for 6 people on there, so you've got room for a passenger if you guys need it.
Mm.
Because the bunks in the back, for the record,
So it seems like it's
those bunks are triple layered, so they got 3 bunks on either side. So
in general, it does look better than the ship that we've crashed on the planet.
well, that was a public vessel that you guys were using public transport vessel. This is yours. For all intents and
Oh, that
purposes,
was public. Okay.
this is for all intents and purposes, this is now your
Ah.
vessel.
Oh, I completely forgot that
I
that was
mean,
a public transport.
lawfully is another question, but
Mm.
you know,
I mean, I don't think any like Imperial police is gonna chase us for stealing a ship of a Force Ghost tyrant.
The only
Force
problem
vampire.
is yeah,
You
you
might
see that one
the
side, the
red
other side you go, this is a prototype. Somebody knows that this is like one of a kind.
Mm.
well, no, because it would have been a prototype for an actual ship design. That ship design is now actually
That was
since
a prototype
propagated.
design. It's not a legitimate one-off prototype.
Yeah,
They knew that this was the only one that was ever made.
at the time it was a prototype. It is now it would now no longer be the prototype. It's still the prototype, but it's like
Got you with you.
you've seen
Early
other
edition.
classes of the Hawk 1000 around. They are they are actually very rare starships. But yeah, the Hawk 290 is very common. The Hawk 1000s, in fact, anyone who's into mechanics, give me a knowledge lore check, or I will accept mechanics as an option. It can either be
can I
Mm.
go on.
can
I
I
have
make
nothing.
a mechanics check, please?
Yeah, it's going to be a 3 purple dice
Yeah,
mechanics
yeah.
check. If you're using lore, it's actually going to be 2, but if you've got mechanics, you'll get a boost dice with that.
I have mechanic. I'll use mechanics. Three difficulty and a boost.
3 difficulty if you've got mechanics. If you're using lore, but
Yes.
you've got a rank in mechanics, you get a boost.
I have no rank in law, so I think
Yeah.
I think I will try with the. I'll just try, just roll it.
Yeah, you got
There
it.
you go.
Woo!
So, one thing you've noticed on the control panels, as you look on Sky, is that it is a Hawk 1000, and it's one of the 2 ships that you do know somewhat about. The Hawk 1000 is an exceedingly rare starship within the galaxy, and actually a collector in some areas considered a collector's item, because only about 500 were ever made effectively, because they were not approved by the Empire because of their fast supply engines.
I think we really need to make sure our documentation is going to be in order, and also lock the ship so we leave.
That's the 2 threat as you
Don't leave
realize.
any valuables on the seats.
The 2 threat is going to be your realization. Oh, the transponder, codes are not going to be in our names, and
Yeah, it's just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of us can blag that.
Well,
I'm
after.
glad we've got the 2 talky characters.
Mhm.
Do I get strained for that? I suppose.
No. That basically is me using that to threat to be like, those documents are going to be a problem in the future potentially for you.
Good thing I was already thinking about this.
However, I will say you also get. I'm going to give you the rundown of the ship. You've got, of course, got the pilot and the co-pilot seat. The ship is unarmed. It does not have any weaponry on it at all. It comes without weaponry. It is considered a rare ship by most standards. I think the cost of buying one new would be 120,000 credits. So that is a serious amount of change. It comes with a cargo area at the back with a small workbench. It has, of course, the living area where you've got the 6 bunks and a small little kitchenette area for making up food and a refresher, as well as a small little social area as well. It's small,
Did you?
but yeah. No?
I was just going to ask. Did you mention armor? Sorry.
Oh yes. I'm gonna give you the stats for that. Fortune.
Because I thought you mentioned armor, and my brain just. And that was about the time my brain was like, "You should probably note this down." Like, oh, okay. And then I missed it.
Don't need to do that because I'm about to actually give you access to the sheet for the ship.
I was going to say we're all going to need that at some point anyway. So
So it's going to have no image associated with it so far. In fact, I know I can give it an image. I think I've got one prepared for it actually. My asset library. Oh, not tokenizer, it would be the tokens. And give you guys all access. Configure missions, all players, owner. Boom. There you go. That should now appear in the players option area. You should be able to see the fortune, and it will give you the full stats for the ship in question.
Oh, neat.
Yes, armor 3, silhouette 4, handling +1, speed of 5, so it's very nippy. Hull trauma of 18, assistance strain of 15, encumbrance capacity of 100. Can hold 6 passengers. Of course, there's 4 passengers and the pilot and co-pilot, so that's 6 in total. Sensor range of short, 6 consumables, and has a hyperdrive rating of 1, which is close to military grade. 0.5 would be
Dang.
military grade.
Yeah.
what
Doesn't the
Fa-
Millennium Falcon have like a 1 or a 0.5?
The Falcon has a 0.5, yes.
Yeah. For those in the chat, that means the smaller number is better. So it's fast. It's very fast.
Actually, apparently, according to my records, Imperial Star Destroyers have a hyperdrive class rating of 2, so it's even faster than most Star Destroyers. So it is military grade. Yeah. That's why the
Very
Empire didn't
fast.
want it out on sale.
Nice. Yeah.
I didn't want because they were just like, if these start rolling in our blockades.
So yeah, you guys have lucked out on this ship.
Yeah, isn't that what Hawks were made for though, as blockade runners?
They are like transport vessels.
Maybe they weren't used as a blockade runner, but they weren't made for being blockade runners, but they could be used.
They could use to run a blockade.
Well,
yes.
I was going to say as well, El, this is me using my X-wing lore, bearing in mind one of the scum pilots is called a spice runner for the 290.
Yeah, they did. Plus, also most people, it's also been known to be that people retrofit them into like starfighters as well because they could be quite nippy. So yeah. Because this thing is large. It's about the size. It is the size of the Falcon in terms of length. So it's not small. That's why you can all fit on there. But yeah. Are there any other questions about the ship? Do you guys want to involve any more else, or do you want to move to the next scene? Because of course, you guys still got a mission to do.
We do.
Yeah. I haven't got any questions about the ship.
We just better go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case,
it gets a beauty sleep.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Before I do go to sleep, I'm probably going to find a quiet spot and maybe do some meditation. I know that doesn't give me any like bonuses or anything.
Yeah, the quietest spot at this point is probably going to be the cargo bay right at the back.
Okay.
You could use that, or you could use the little recluse area here, although that's where the galley is, so you might want to avoid that.
Yeah. And I'm probably in the middle of my meditation. I probably fall asleep because I am so tired.
All right. So you fall asleep during meditation. You heal all wounds. Das is asleep. He's going to heal all wounds as well, which I'll do that here. Boom. 0. Helene, what are you doing?
I mean, I'll sleep, but just keeping an eye on Das until I conk out.
You heal all wounds. Oh, strength, I should say. Trix, what are you doing?
I definitely think I'll just sort of be sort of hanging around and being in the sort of at the very least in the co-pilot seat.
Roslos currently is occupying that because that's actually the pilot seat which you'll be occupying if that's the case.
Well, whichever one, it doesn't make much of a difference. Whichever one it is,
you can sit in it and not actually do anything. You can just sit in it and such. But
that's what I mean. I'll just be sitting there all casual, just keeping an eye on stuff and making sure things are okay.
Roslos, what are you doing?
Well, as Trix is sitting in the pilot's seat, after a while she starts hearing the because Roslos is just
fallen asleep.
dropped out, just zoned out at the co-pilot seat and sleeping.
At that point, Trix, do you like
So I'm just sleeping.
do you push like the switch control button to your console or something?
What you mean switch control? So I've got full control of the ship at this point. Is that what you're?
Yeah, because Roslos probably switched it to his console while he was there.
Oh yeah. No, I would.
Which you don't have to do any flying because the ship's in hyperspace, but at least it means you can keep an eye on things. And we then screen wipe. Do you get any kind of sleep at all, Trix, or do you maintain stay up?
I'll maintain watch. I've put my. I did originally take it all off, but then I put it back to where it was, so my cheat is where it should be.
Cool. In that case, we're going to transition as eventually about several hours later, as people kind of are starting to wake up, or they can be woken up, you'll hear the beep 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 of the console indicating that the ship's about to exit hyperspace.
Oh.
I left Roslos in charge.
And Roslos like, what's going on?
I'm gonna retrain one strain because I fell asleep on the floor, so there's a bit of a crick in my neck. Like
No, don't do that. Take some. Leave your strain on 0, but have a couple of setback dice for the next foreseeable future.
Aw. Okay.
Roslos, you'll also get that because you fell asleep on a chair, not on a bed. So Helene doesn't because she actually was in on a bed. So
It's not my fault. I was really tired and I meditated
Yeah, so was I. Oh well.
Oh well.
this is why this is why I tell people be careful when you fall asleep.
That's what we get for being tired.
I mean, have you guys ever we've probably all fallen asleep at some point in our computer chairs. When you wake up, it never feels good, does it?
It does not feel good.
So there you go. Right. So yeah, as you hear the kind of the light beeps coming from the console saying that the ship's about to exit hyperspace. What do you do, Trix? Because you're not really a pilot, although you could pilot. Yeah, probably. Do you go for sky? I mean, presumably that would probably wait because I imagine these doors are not closed right now, although you can close them.
No,
So that's probably reverberated down into the cargo bay.
Oh shoot! I need to get up.
Yeah, I was gonna say at this point I'd be like, are those good beeps or bad beeps?
It's fine. I'm coming.
The sky enters. At that point, you can
You're coming
switch.
slowly on purpose.
I like the fact that Sky
I'm
walks
like
in and some like feathers are like plumed up on her
Yeah.
Yeah. There's what's
Yeah.
what's the safari equivalent of a cowlick?
Yes, yes.
Just the way the feathers are.
So looking over Trix's shoulder, you can see that the ship is effectively arriving at a destination and is due to exit hyperspace in the next minute.
Oh yeah, we're about to get where we're going. I could take the con if you need helm. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, yeah.
So Trix vacates
Ugh.
the pilot seat.
So,
And excuse me, I'll just quickly do something. I need to get things prepared appropriately. I need to find a better way to do this, but I'm sure that it will happen.
Why is it when you said that I had the Lion King song in my head?
I don't know. Cycle of Life or something, I don't know.
No, it's Be Prepared.
Be prepared.
Um,
Don't. I would have loved to have
For what?
Yes, I know. That's why it went through into my head. I was like, I shouldn't say that.
The Death of the King.
What is he
as-
sick?
No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. We'll be here all day.
Grants me
Alright.
another setback die. No.
Okay. And so here we go, and we head to as we exit hyperspace.
Whoa.
Into real space, and that's where we end up
Oh.
in real space here. In front of you is the planet number 1. It is a core world. You are in the core parts of the galaxy. You're probably a very short jump away from Alderaan, as well as Duros and Corellia. So you're not like Coruscant level core, but you are very close. Does anyone want to do a check on the planet number 1?
I'll do. It's a core worlds check, isn't it?
It'd be a core
Knowledge.
world check, yes.
Yeah, I've got a little bit in that. I'll do that. What's the difficulty?
Number 1, I'd say 2. Actually,
Okay.
no, I'll make it 1. 1 is, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I rolled a 2.
That's fine. Roll it again, but with a 1 instead.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that wrong.
I got a little bit ahead of myself there.
I still failed. So,
Hey, it's
unfortunately,
still the exact same roll.
unfortunately, you don't recognize anything about Mawan. It's not really a core world that has given a lot of attention. So it kind of makes sense. So you're kind of like, well, I'm not sure why we're here at Mawan, bar the reason for your job. Anyone else want to make an attempt?
That's certainly a planet. I mean, I could give it a go, but I have none. I don't have any. I don't have a yellow dice.
Doesn't matter. You can still do it. Just means that you're less likely to you're not going to get a triumph or something like that.
I mean, I'll do it if nobody else wants to, or nobody else hasn't got a better roll, or.
I've only got 2 greens, so.
Nobody never knew almost anything about other planets.
Do I get a setback die with this roll?
You do, yes.
Okay.
No.
Didn't get
Not that it mattered
Not that it mattered
anyway!
anyway. So no, you don't know much about Mawan. You do see that from the atmosphere. It is a little planet, and it seems to be like there's several cities across it. It's got forests, but the forests aren't what you expect. They're forest of fungi that kind of exist. It's like kind of toadstools and like kind of long kind of like fungus like forests, and like proper rainforest of like really tall fungus plants rather than trees. But there are several cities that dot the edge, and they are leveled cities, much like Taris and Coruscant are as well.
So I feel that we have a chance to meet Dr. Robotnik on the planet.
Fucking, I was just about to say that!
Welcome to Mushroom Hill Zone. You were instructed by 8 TAT8 to meet you on the capital of Mawan, on one of the lower levels, and you were given a specific docking berth to head there. As you kind of approach the planet, you can hear the chatter come to where you kind of start getting the what is the kind of the automated messaging system which says, "Welcome to Mawan. The current local time is 3:33 p.m. The weather is currently clear, humid, hot, at a temperature of," and it basically starts falling off, and you realize, wow, it's a hot place. The planet has like quite a high temperature, so it's very humid, which probably explains, like, well, of course
The
it's humid.
mushrooms.
That explains the fungi, you know. So there you go. And a few seconds later, you hear, of course, come over the comm. "This is Sport Control for Mawan. Please state your business."
Business. What's our business? My brain has gone blank.
I know what.
I'm just gonna chime in and go. We're here for business purposes.
Well, you're not in the cockpit right now, Helene.
Oh, am I not? Oh,
You're-
I
you're-
would have
No,
made
you're
my way
not.
out. Sorry.
That's fine. As you stumble in,
I intended to make my way up.
fair enough.
You start speaking, everyone's like.
Are we now like in that Star Trek movie where we're like discussing what's Klingon for mind your own business?
Sky's just like, no thoughts hit him.
But yeah, I want to sort of chime in. So we're here on for business purposes.
This is. I see. And do you have a docking berth assigned, or would you be required to take the normal docking path? Of course, we can arrange docking berths for you. Docking berths come at several credits per day, or do you have your own berth assigned?
Now, would I know the berth that was originally assigned to the public ship that we were supposed to be taking?
You basically you would know the berth that was allowed for it. Yes.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of explain. We were originally going to be arriving on another ship in whichever berth it is, but there was a problem with that ship, and we've had to replace it with this one.
So there's a few seconds of just silence on the line, and you hear, "Please follow the recommended flight course to that place. Do not deviate from that course. It is a legal procedure to deviate from that course. And have a good day. Welcome to Mawan."
Thank you very much.
Clearly, that person is like just loving life at this point.
Yeah.
You just-
Well, we've still got our spot.
Thank
And-
goodness. Following normal procedures.
on procedures, and that is when we're going to switch to my magnum opus. Yeah, I'm being dramatic, but effectively I've been working very hard on a session. You'll see why in a hot second once I actually get things prepared. There, and here we go.
Oh, yo.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, in line of sight and everything. That's really cool.
Whoa.
I've been working very, very hard on this.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Absolutely, you have.
Yeah, so you've landed in one of the lower levels of Mawan. You can kind of see that below you there is a speeder lane where several speeders zoom by almost constantly as you kind of lower the ship down. It's a very tight fit for the Hawk 1000, as you can see. It the nose overhangs, but the landing gear is a bit further back in the main body, so it's perfectly fine. But it just barely manages to land down on there. And as you kind of it settles down, there's the hiss of the hydraulic fluid as the ship settles down.
I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we didn't. Didn't have a blooming Star Destroyer in there. We would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Roslos is attempting to humor like, you would know what a Star Destroyer?
Sky just turns and just stares at him and just like, best not ask.
Might take it as no. Okay.
Okay, you have two avenues of exit if you want on the ship. You have a side entrance here, which has a little ramp that goes down outside, or you can use the cargo ramp at the back, which
I'll
is
use the side. Sorry.
yeah, it makes sense. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean you have to
yes.
do it yourself, but yeah, as you kind of get down, you see that there is a gran guy in like a leather jacket, kind of waving at you as you kind of descend from your ship.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go out the get out the people entrance and not the
Yeah.
trade entrance as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Would say.
I'll approach the gran.
Says, I'm a
I'll hang back a
Wanawanga.
little bit.
Yeah.
You're the ship that I was
I-
expecting down here.
That's a very long story, but we are the people you were expecting, I'm sure.
Like-
You were expecting a public transport, yeah?
Yeah, public transport 3903 2AA.
You won't be seeing that ship again. It's a long story.
Oh, he says, and he just says, really? You realize about the paperwork I've got to fill out in order just to make sure that thing can sit here? Look at it.
I mean-
it's way too large for the landing pad. You can't have that thing here.
It looks to me like it fits just about right.
Okay, he says,
I mean, it's close enough.
give
We've
Give-
been through a lot to get here.
okay, so he's not introduced himself, but you could probably imagine that there's probably someone who manages the landing pads around here. And probably even owns the landing pad around here. He says, well, sure it fits, but it's gonna cost you more.
Well, what's the damage?
Yeah, this we get. And so originally he says, well, let's see, for the landing berth, it's 30 credits for the landing, and then 10 credits a day.
Okay.
You do also notice that there's no door. So literally, you are literally just leaving the ship on a landing pad.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roslos is poking Helene on the shoulder, and in a stage whisper says, "Ask Kisa about medical facilities for Das."
Ah, yes. My good friend, we've been through a lot to get here. Like I said, the original ship we were supposed to arrive on, you won't be seeing it because that ship is no longer in a flying condition. I don't want to go and delve into too many details, but essentially, we were attacked on the way here and had to find a replacement
Pirates!
ship. Yes, pirates. I hope you understand that it has been a very difficult time. Some of us are even injured. Perhaps you could give us the usual rate simply by virtue of the fact that we are in need of a little help right now.
All right. So, just to be clear, you're not negotiating him on the prices of these berths.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Okay. Do you pay him at the very least?
I'll pay him, yeah.
Okay. So you pay. So that's 30 credits that you pay for the landing. Effectively, whenever you land, some of them have it where you pay a base cost and then you pay per day, and it's usually lower cost. Some just say you pay a base. It basically varies from place to place what these costs are. But yeah, and he basically is responsible for making sure your ship is fueled and safe and such. Says, oh well, well, there's a medical facility just down the street there. As he kind of puts over his shoulder in what would be this direction, which I'm going to point here.
Okay.
Going this direction here.
And I will tell him you've been most helpful. I appreciate your candor. And I give him a 10 credit tip.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, just make sure the ship is well cared for.
He says, Says, of course, my lady. We are one of the best services here in the capital of Natan.
I will give a curtsy and say I feel most welcomed.
Okay, so you've been directed in the direction of where medical facility is. You also know that that 88 instructions actually say that he has got a place where he's staying for yourself as well, across the road from a medical facility. So you've already kind of found out where he is. So yeah, what do you want to do as a group or individually?
Well, well, I think first of all we're going to carry Das over to the medical facility.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
Ross,
course.
Ross, can you give me a hand?
Yeah, I
Ross,
think.
come give us a hand.
Yeah, my on it. So either we could just carry Das, or because if this ship has a cargo container, maybe they have some sort of
Oh, we're not
repulsor.
going to put Das in it. Oh, I know what you mean. Sorry, I thought you were going to.
Yeah,
put it
I want to make the sort of repulsor carrier as a temporary makeshift stretcher, where we put a bed on it with Das on top of it, and just carry him to
Okay,
the
so
medical facility.
yeah, so you remove one of the the mattresses from the bunks, and you pop it on the hover sled, which is used to basically push cargo around, and you just kind of lay Das down on that and kind of start wheeling it over in the direction of the thing, which is actually, just for the record, the facility is over here. So
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
meantime, this dude starts to kind of go over and actually he takes out near like a plug, a kind of a hose like thing, and attaches it and like clamps it to the ship.
Mm.
That would be the fueling line, I
Yeah,
presume.
a fuel line. So in this, it seems to be that fuel services are included. So
Yeah. Do we already start to feel the humidity and the heat?
oh yes, like even you're in also below one of the lower levels. That's the darkness and the lights. So you're feeling the heat at this point.
Because I want to argue that might remove my setback, because Ross as a Gungan loves the humidity in the air, because he really starts feeling the precipitation on his skin and the humidity, and he starts feeling much better.
Sure, yeah, I'll allow this. Yeah, seems very reasonable to me.
Was that unlike Burr? Roslos loves this kind of weather.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Sky's feathers have opened a bit to try and cool her down. Like,
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's the general feeling that you're going to feel on this planet is oppressive kind of humidity and heat, which is not going to affect you at worse, but you might start gaining strain at a later time if you can't manage it. Yeah, well, feel
it's
free.
uncomfy.
Feel free to move yourselves around if you wish. You know, go explore.
All right. Well,
Let's get Roslos to some medical. Not Roslos, sorry.
Oh.
Das to some medical.
Actually, Roslos too, because I still have a critical injury and a few wounds. But
Oh, I love that.
well, we might all want to go.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool.
okay. So where are we going for the
It's
medical?
it's the building with the holographic tree out front.
Very nice.
Oh, it reminds me of the Old Republic.
Also, it's worth noting there are doors which you click to open once you're next to them, and that will then allow you to see into the places. So,
oh my god! So is it the lower one or upper one? Sorry.
It's here.
it is there.
Oh, the up. It's this one.
Yep.
Oh, fair.
Ooh. Discovering things. Okay.
Neat. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize.
Is there like a reception desk or something?
Yes. So, as you enter, you hear this door open, and someone sticks their head out as I say, hello. Can I help you?
Ah, yes. We have an injured individual. We got into.
Roslos raises her hands. We saw all injured individuals.
She sees the you can clearly see that what she's wearing is a medical, effectively what's seen as the standard kind of medical tunic that you see across the galaxy. As she sees, as you not a scrubs, but kind of like like a lab coat almost, or whatever you were. I think the way that all doctors wear lab coats in cinema. This is like the lab coat of
Trauma team uniform.
Yeah. As she sees Rossos's injuries as well as Das lying unconscious on the things, and she says, "Oh my." She says, and she kind of says, "Get him into the medical center immediately." She says, "It's along the corridor, and it's the first door on the left."
Thank you.
She kind of retreats back into into what you presume to be her office.
Okay, so up at the top here.
Yeah, she directed you this way.
No.
All right.
And it was this door that she directed you to kind of take it.
First, okay.
Oh,
Woo.
oh yeah, I need to get through the door. I whacked into the wall earlier.
So yeah, as a few seconds, that's right. As a few seconds later, the doctor reappears and going to Das, who is the one who's been laid on the bed so far, she says, she kind of looks over his injuries and say, "Well," and she kind of notes on the tunic the various blaster bolt, carbon scoring, and the lightsaber sears and cuts. As she looks over and says, "And what happened? And what happened to him?"
I glance over at Roslos and Sky and just go, "Pirates."
Pirates, yeah.
At the same time, Rostos tries to say we set tripped on the stairs.
Tripped and found some pirates. Metaphorical stairs.
We fell on the pirates.
The pirates hit us a lot. Like they got me and they got my friend here, and Das took the worst of it for us.
Helene, since you were the first to say it, give me a deception check, please.
All right, difficulty.
Richard fell down on the pirates.
Let's see. It's against 2 reds and a purple.
2 reds and a purple. Okay.
Yes.
Good stuff.
You have got those lovely 7 light sides sitting there. I will point out.
I don't. I think it might be funner if this goes wrong.
You didn't succeed.
Okay.
You didn't succeed. But you got a triumph.
We have a triumph.
Task failed successfully.
You failed with 3 threat and a triumph. And okay, so I think the 3 threat is I'm going to distribute that between each 3 of you as you all, as a bead of as you all realize you've not got your story straight, and there's like a moment of panic between each 3 of you before Helene says, "Pirates."
Pirates.
So you clearly fail. So she's not believing any of this.
Yeah.
What do you want the triumph to be?
I have no idea what I could use a triumph for in this situation.
Well,
Maybe she could just be
Maybe like
we didn't succeed, so maybe she's just like.
Can we turn the triumph into a surge of empathy from her? Because she says, "Oh, those poor fuckers, they are really over
that's what
their
I was
heads."
thinking.
Yeah.
It's like
Something.
it's like she knows we're lying, but it's like there's clearly something that's gone on. I don't need to probe any further.
Yeah. Effectively, for the record, by the way, if anyone wants to read through the skills in the journal entries, you'll find the skill descriptions, a whole list of skills, and it even provides ideas for what you can use things for. It does say here under triumph may be spent to fool the target into believing that the character is a trustworthy sort. Now, because you failed, I'm going to say that interpret it as she doesn't believe you. She knows you're bullshitting, but she also understands that she also doesn't get the feeling that you're untrustworthy or that you're bad people, effectively.
Yeah.
It seems to be that whatever's happened is complicated, but you don't want to get into it.
Yeah, it's hard to explain that your friend was nearly killed by a force vampire. You know,
Yeah.
that's a difficult sell.
Yeah. Yeah, because at that point, it's like I was like, I see. Excuse me, while I just pushed this button for some people to restrain you and take you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, if I know anything about medical stuff, it's probably a case of it's probably going to get written down in notes of like, yeah, we might need to separate these people and talk to them individually because there might have been an incident going on.
So she's gonna perform a medical check. Now she says, "Well, unfortunately, it's medical care is not free." And she says, I can assist him, but it all depends on what kind of care you've got for him." So the question I'm asking kind of tactfully is, how much credits have you guys got to spend on this?
Well, how much will it set us back?
All
I've got
right.
some spending money.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I can put some money towards it as
yeah,
well.
we all have some spending money from the previous job for Vance.
Mm-hmm.
right then. Okay. So this is a core world planet. So already you're looking at medical care on a core world planet. I'm just going to say that up front right now. The kind of set expectations here. And I'm just going to quickly check the reference guide because I think in the book it offers a recommendation, although I'm not certain. And if so, I
I
can.
think I remember at least I remember it talking about like travel costs and stuff like that, so it might have some figures.
Yeah. Let's see. Rim, outer rim, or space. Heat wounds, strains, and states of healing. So I'm going to say that based upon this. Right. So it's going to be that this particular facility is going to say, okay, it's going to be 100 credits per wound healed,
Okay.
or
Mhm.
500 per crit attempt. And I do say that it is crit attempt. It is not guaranteed. However, a back to tank session, 1,000 credits.
Right.
How long is a battle session?
It'd be 24
How
hours,
many
which
hours?
24 hours, which guarantees a critical hit injury heal.
Well, he's
I-
only got one crit. Is it a critical injury and wound heal, or just?
Oh no,
critical injury?
no, the back to would heal. So the back to means that he basically would heal. He'd basically be fully healed effectively. It's a full 1,000 credits up front, full heal effectively.
I'm willing to put 1,000 of my credits down for a back to session for Das.
I can split that 500.
I think we could split the cost for Das, and then we all have injuries that we could.
Yeah, I do want to do an attempt
crits
for
that we
me.
could pay for.
So I can do 500 for Das and 500 for myself for one quit attempt.
Yeah, same.
Or I could do 1,050 for two crit attempts and 500 Das. I'm happy to do that.
I'll contribute whatever is necessary towards this.
Yeah, I'm ready to also add the 500 for Das and the 500 for
Okay, so
at least one attempt.
Oh. I'll put down
myself.
500 credits for half of Das's back to tank.
I'll put down the other 500 for the other half of the back to tank.
Okay.
Trix, I just moved you to there because I don't know if you had issues getting there.
Yes, I did. I had some technical issues, and then by the time I got them resolved, I had no idea where you'd gone.
That's fine. I noticed that. So I mean, feel free to now, because you're the person who's with the money. You're the money man in real life. So how about you help the team with this in terms of unless you guys are sorted out amongst yourselves.
No, we are partially responsible for Das's crits, so we will.
I mean, I'm
we will
heavily
foot his bill.
responsible. I'm paying for half at least.
Yeah. So I was sorry because I was trying to find out where you guys, all moved to. I was trying to.
That's fine. I've got
Um,
it resolved.
have we got it all squared up, or are we still a bit short? Just as a
Well, we've definitely covered Das. I can cover my, and I don't know how much everybody's paying for their own wounds. I can cover mine for 2
Okay,
crit attempt.
so I need you guys to amongst yourselves specifically make sure that 1,000 has been sent. So, Haleen, how much have you given for the
500
500. Roslos?
towards the back there.
Roslos?
Oh, I want to spend 500 for my crit attempt and 500 for
No, we're
my
thinking
5
about
wounds.
Das
You're
first.
doing Das
Oh, for
first.
Das first. Yeah, so I mean we could split it 4 ways for Das.
yeah. That's what
If
I
we
was.
want
I
to,
was
Okay.
definitely
yeah.
thinking that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so everyone deduct 250 each from your credit stash. And
Right. So
Okay.
250
Got it.
Yeah.
cool. All right, so Das at that point, this doctor says T1B, and at that point you hear the of a of clicks down a corridor as in the doorway a 2-1B medical droid pops their head in, and he says, "What can I help with?" As the droid kind of steps in and addresses the doctor and says, "And what may I help you with, Dr. Zenith?" And at that point, she says, "Take this one to the back tanks, and make sure you see his full care." At that point, the T1B nods and, without much difficulty, manages to kind of pick up Das and carry him into one of the other rooms.
Well, hopefully he'll be in fighting fit condition very soon.
He
Yeah.
says, "Yes, it's fine. Now, I don't wish to be rude, but I'd be very appreciative if I could get some straight answers. I definitely know that pirates don't operate in these areas, and and don't get me wrong, I'm not here to hand you over to the authorities or anything, but I would at least like to know what I'm dealing with here."
Well,
It's a long story.
it's hard to explain. We had a ship crash land. We were in an unfamiliar place, and we ended up getting into a scuffle with a individual.
He was wielding a bladed weapon. I've never seen anything like that before, but it hurt like hell. I mean, it got me. It got all of us.
You
Really.
hear stories of the old Galactic Republic and the knights that wielded laser swords.
And she says,
I think it
"Oh,
was
I know,
something like that.
she says, oh, I know lightsaber blocks when I see them."
Yes,
Yes.
that's what we were up against.
Yes. It got me pretty badly, and my friend.
Yeah.
As well,
He's might have been that bad sorcerer Jedi that the Empire says about.
at that point, she kind of sighs and says, "Well, which one of you next, then, I guess?" She does notice the Bothan
I
says,
guess
and she just notices the Bothan, who is pretty much okay. It's like, "I'm not, and I suppose you're not in need of medical attention."
She's here as a friend. she's.
I'm not that wounded myself, so I just gesture towards Roslos and Sky, and I try to explain the injuries that those two have gotten from my own vague medical experiences and what I've examined.
Mm.
Yeah. The Jedi got me pretty bad. If you could try to get these I'm injured, but I prefer if you try to get these worse wounds for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Okay.
Critical injury.
So it's yeah. I get what you're saying. So you're paying 500 to have her attempt the critical injury. Which one would you like her to attempt?
Can she attempt both and I pay 1,000?
She can. Yep.
Yeah, I'll
Yep.
drop 1,000 on that.
Cool.
I
case.
say, and then future Shadow will probably scream at me and go, "We needed that."
It's fine. So, quickly now that she's got a name, name her. Then There we go. Okay, so lovely!
Wow.
Look at that.
Oh, thank goodness. An
I don't
actual
know.
medical professional.
I don't know why it came up as a different name. I will have to get that checked. Ah, there we go, Dr. Zenith. Regardless, that is indeed her role, and she succeeds with 2 successes, 3 advantages, and a triumph.
Neat.
And with the triumph, I'm going to say you can have 1,000. You can have 500 credits back, Sky, because in healing one, she heals the other at the same time.
Neat. Thank you.
She heals
Oh,
both at once.
nice.
Um,
Oh,
she
yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you
and she heals
so
2.
much, Doctor.
She heals 2 wounds, and if you've got any strain, she can heal 3 strain, or you can spend the 3 advantages in another way if you wish.
Yeah, I'll clean the whole board on both sides. I only have like 1 wound remaining.
There you go. And this is why
Thank you.
it's very valuable to pay for medical care in the Star Wars universe,
Yes.
but also
thank
why
you,
it's
Doctor.
expensive.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor.
And
I
also
really,
it's-
I really appreciate it.
No
It's also
problem.
interesting to note the fact if she's had 4 yellows with this, and where our ranks are struggling at the moment,
Yeah.
what could potentially happen somewhere
Yeah.
down the line.
As she's got Sky on the table and she's kind of doing the stitch, she says, "Well, you look like you've seen some action. Lightsaber, stars, blaster bolts, Raftar bites."
Yeah, the Rathtar was a part of the thing.
And I think I
That
saw
my
someone.
friend.
Yes,
Yeah,
I did see
my
someone, your
friend.
friend. What are you,
Yeah,
hunters or some sort?
He is. He got hurt because of me. I made a really stupid decision and decided we could take a Graftar together, and it turns out we couldn't. And he took the brunt of the fight for me.
She gives kind of a bemused smile, says, "You and him against one Raftar." And she's kind of
We turned up to
Yeah,
help in the end.
and she
yeah,
says,
they
she,
bailed us out.
she says, pretty brave for someone to take on a Raftar almost by their lonesome. Maybe a little stupid, but brave.
More foolish, I think.
There were extenuating circumstances.
Okay, there you go. Next, is it Roslos next?
Yeah.
Hop off the bed.
Oh. Misa want a similar treatment. Misa have wounds all over and some heavier ones.
Oh, okay. What are you paying to do?
Yeah. So I want to pay for an attempt at a critical wound, and I want to pay for healing 5 wounds.
Do you have criticals, Roslos?
I do. For some reason I can't see them on my sheet anymore, but I don't know. Something gets reset because I've been trying 6 times already to set my threshold down to what I should have, but it still keeps resetting to the original value. And I don't see my critical injury anymore, but I know that I had one, and I see the icon on my personage.
Yes, I do.
Check the biography set. It might be. It'll be in there. It's where it was for me.
Okay, so you were immobilized. You weren't critical injured. So that's no longer a condition. I'm just going through the history because this is where we have the chat history, just to check that.
Woo!
The good old advantage of using an online version of the game.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay, so it might have been that immobilized, but so do you mean I don't have a critical injury anymore?
Not from what I see
So
here.
it's like,
You had an enhanced condition. You didn't. The immobilization was a condition. It wasn't a critical. Sky got.
Oh yeah, because Strahd zapped you, didn't he?
He zapped you. Yes.
It is at me, yeah. Okay, so
I'm
in
just
that case,
doing.
I only have wounds.
I'm just doing a general check, just to be absolutely sure.
Yeah, because I figured he had a. Can't remember.
Das Van at the brink. Strahd got a crit. Sky got a crit.
Ow!
Strahd got a crit.
Sky got another crit.
There was the roll there. The morality at the end. I'm not seeing one here. I'm just doing once again another double check. HK series droid. Roslos again, enhanced condition fear. No, I am not seeing any kind of critical that should have been on there. Oh, wait, no.
Ah, shoot.
There was a bowled over. There was indeed a bowled over.
Oh,
That-
because you hit prone, didn't you?
You hit prone, yeah. And you had the energy boost, you would have had that. I'll grab that. There you go. You've now got that. And confirmed.
Oh no, I put the energy bow on there already.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that it gives an indication of what we had on there. But there we go. Because you had the energy bow last session, so that's why I know it definitely happened last time. Cool. And again, that's why we have these records. So yes, it's a 2 dice critical to heal on that one in that case, Roslos.
Yes, I'd like to be healed of that critical and of 5 wounds.
Okay. Right then. So again,
Don't mind me, I'm just doing calculations.
okay, she heals. She is going to heal the critical, or attempt to heal the critical, I should say. Boom, 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 boom. 2 purple dice. And again, she succeeds with a triumph.
again.
So you
Hey.
don't need to invest money in the extra stuff for the wounds, as I'm going to say that the triumph is going to clear your wounds as well. So you just £500,
Oh, nice.
500
Wow.
credits for the bowled over. This is why getting things, and also that's she's not even using her abilities, which are like surgeon, to like remove extra wounds and things, because she's just that
She's
good.
just
That
too
good. Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
that good.
This is what you get on Core Worlds.
As
You spend a lot, but you get money for your.
Yeah.
As at one
You
point, she
get-
kind of notices something wrong with your toe and says, "Excuse me, now this is not going to hurt." Suddenly, she pulls, and there's an immense surge of pain through your leg, Roslas. She looks up at you and says, "I lied." As as she's basically readjust one of your Gungan footpad toads, and yeah, so you can now walk properly. And she kind of cleans up your wounds, and says, "Look, you look like you've been. Let's see." And she kind of looks over you and says, "There's a high amounts of electricity within your system, unless if you'd been struck by a recent shock to the system. There's someone been touching live power nodes."
Yeah, might just live dangerously.
At that point, she looks up and says, "Anyone else need any medical attention?"
I'm perfectly fine.
I'm fine for the time being, but thank you. You have made very short work of these injuries. It's very impressive.
She says, "Well, when you have access to these," she kind of motions to the technology around and says, "When you've got access to Stimpaks, Bacta, as well as regenerators, almost anything can be done. That's why there's the expense here on the planet. Just be thankful that you have actually people here working. A few months ago, that would have been the case."
Oh,
Why? What
Interesting.
what happened?
Oh, the planet's still dealing with it's a long dispute. There was a uh the problem is supply. Some of the spaceport workers were unfortunately refusing to work. Unfortunately, we have a bit of a system in place here where a lot of the trade unions have control over the planet, which is, unions are fine, but unfortunately some have used it to try and influence as parts of the government. We no longer have a governing body, you see. Most of the trade unions are now in control of the planet. For the most part, some of them are fine, but then you get some who, like the recent workers on the one who've been delaying medical products intentionally,
Right.
as political maneuvering to get them their say within the control of the government.
At which point Trix sort of grinds her teeth a little bit when you use the word government.
Ha. Yeah. So, just to give you a bit of history lesson, because I probably balls that up. Natan was a bustling city, but it did suffer from a problem about 20 years ago, where let's pull up just to give you a bit of a history lesson, which is what she would be giving you effectively.
Yeah.
Da-da-da. So there was a civil war which was called the Great Purge, which is nothing related to the Jedi Purge, for the record.
Mhm.
This is about 30 years ago. It left the capital devastated, basically as three rival crime lords vied for control over the government. However, the planet was restored to peace. However, this did lead to a society. It removed the hierarchical part of society, with the utilities being run by the lowest caste. However, after Civil War, the structure was disrupted, with utility workers gaining moderate power, and using this to exploit the common citizens. So effectively, they would request payouts for allowing these services to basically resume. Some of these utilities were the water systems, the sewer systems, the dock workers. So effectively, they effectively were exploiting the planetary people for saying, "We're not going to let your medical supplies through unless you pay us more." And then when I say more, an exorbitant amount more. Not a
So
fair
sort of
exchange.
extremist trade union. in a way.
Yeah, extremist trading stuff. Yeah. Very much abuse of power, not utilizing the unions for what they should be for, effectively.
Yeah, more. Yeah, which is why I made the moniker of extremist.
Exactly. That's why I want to be clear. I'm not sending an anti-union message here. I'm sending an anti-extreme union message.
Yeah, basically, don't be trying to don't be trying to just get power for power's sake.
Yeah. There is a provisional government, which is mainly headed by the various heads of different utility unions. Although there are a few low-level ministers that still exist, because there needs to be someone who manages education and things like that. But yeah, that is effectively the society, the planetary society that they're on, and the short, brief history lesson that you were given by Dr. Zenith.
Ah,
Yes.
sounds. Oh, would I
Mhm.
know about the? I would know about the Clone Wars, wouldn't I? Because I would be a little baby when I
Yeah.
was a Jedi Initiate when
The Clone Wars happened after the Great Purge as well, so this planet has also been devastated by the Clone Wars about 10 years after that.
Oh, that's so mean.
Yeah.
No.
So they had a civil war, then
Dang.
10 years later, the Clone Wars happened. You just can't catch a break.
Yeah, sounds very similar to what the Separatists were doing before the Clone Wars or during the Clone Wars.
It's just, oh, don't get me started on the Clone Wars. They pretty much, despite us it being, if we weren't a cool world, I would say there'd be no one left on this planet. Anyway, I unfortunately have other rounds to attend to. Your friend is receiving the best care. If you come back to us tomorrow, you should be fit and in fighting condition, and ready to face perhaps another Raftar.
I
Here's
hope not.
hoping perhaps not. Yeah,
And she kind of
be
at
good
this
to see
point,
him up and about.
this point, she kind of motions to the door, as in like saying she's not going to leave you in here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you for
Mm.
your expertise and your care, Mom. Doctor, sorry.
Thank you, Doctor.
Anytime.
Yeah,
And
Rastos adds a small bow and follows the rest out.
cool.
All right.
Oh, what are you
Also,
doing, Ross?
to make it easier, you can also use the arrow keys to move yourself if you want to do gamify it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, careful. Okay.
You can get lost in the medical facility.
we lost. There she is.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stalk her and move him around. Thankfully,
Thank you.
this building here is what you assume to be the AT-88
Mm.
building. You do notice that it seems to be a residential building as well.
Hmm.
Very
Well.
conspicuous.
No tab like the present. Shall we?
You lead,
That's
Helene.
All right.
Lead on, Helene.
So as you go through, you kind of see that there's lights coming on. There's various adverts across the walls shown by the holographic displays as you make your way through the corridors. As eventually you kind of turn the corner and you find waiting there is, of course, AT-88.
Ah.
Our
Well,
benefactor.
we may have had a few setbacks, but we have finally arrived.
We're still alive.
It's alive.
You are 2
We
days.
lived, bitch.
You are 2 days behind the appointed schedule.
Extenuating circumstances.
You're all organics.
The
You have a
original ship.
lack of sense of time.
Well, trust me, we would have arrived on time if it weren't for our ship crash landing on a strange hell planet. But other than that, we're fine. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, our other fellow
Blame-
organics
blame-
was. Yeah, our other
Blame
fellow
these
organics.
other organics that held us back.
Yeah, they also did not have a sense that we had we had places to be.
At that point, AT-88 kind of reaches back and presses like the door release control without breaking, eye contact with his photoreceptor yourselves. Behind him, you see that there's another model of his droid. However, this looks to be partly disassembled, with its arm missing again, something against the wall. Clearly, it's active but not really mobile, and there's a restraining bolt on it as he moves in and says, "That is fine. We have the appointed time to make our message to do the briefing and prepare for the job at hand."
So who's this then? I gesture over to the other droid.
Also, El,
Yep.
you were doing
In AT-AT, yes.
description in
Yeah, I know.
AT-AT
Yeah.
voice.
It's one of those things where I need to get a handle on that. I've got a on and off button which I should use. Right, yeah. So there's as AT-88 looks down at the droid and looks back and says,
"Spare parts."
at that point, which you realize, wait, spare parts, as in like he is repairing himself using this droid who is not deactivated. It's
Right.
Bless you.
Well then, let's get down to business. We're already, as you say, behind schedule. Let's get ourselves caught up.
Indeed. What do you remember of what I told you back in your quaint establishment?
Well, from what I remember, give me a second.
I know there's a party, and we need to be his way in, and that's about it.
Yes. You want us to accompany you to a party? That's what I remember.
I was supposed to cover for scientists.
Oh yeah, 8088 needs to run for party. Need to establish cover. That's what.
An adequate description. Yes, the party is the annual gala held by the University of Coruscant. They hold it on multiple different planets. Effectively, academics from across the galaxy comes to meet, discuss ideas, and exchange research and other such things. I wish to get into this party. That's all you need to do. That is your only objective, to get me in to the party. Anything else that happens, that is up to my discretion.
Seems simple enough.
At that point,
his head kind of swivels in Helene's direction and says,
this is a very exclusive event, only meant for the most prestigious of individuals. A cover will need to be established. They're not just going to let any kind of...
And his direction turns in the direction of Roslos and Sky, who, the former is a Gungan who is dressed in like a chitin armor, and Sky who is dressed... Do you have your mechanics jumpsuit yet or not?
I do not. No.
Okay.
We
Well,
didn't
I'm guessing it's not formal attire that you're wearing. It's very, it's casual.
I am very scruffy looking.
Yeah, compared to Trix and Helene. And the droid says,
riffraff in this establishment.
Well, I'm sure they'll clean up just fine.
Yeah, Misa, renowned scientist and fistic of science.
No, that's not what he meant.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to being behind schedule, the party is tomorrow evening. Will you have enough time to acquire the necessary attire for your companions?
I think we can manage that.
Of course, we'll need to get a cover identity for both yourselves, and also a reason for my attending. I did have some ideas of my own. Naturally, my superior brain gives me advanced computation abilities. I was believing that you could pose as one of the scientific individual. Maybe yourself, Miss Vasto. You are someone who is capable of deception. I've done research on all of you, and believe this to be the best. And with the others providing adequate security, or Miss Corrales perhaps even being portrayed as an understudy for yourself, perhaps a student. And myself, of course, a humble archivist droid.
It seems fair.
Yeah, that's definitely could work.
what are people's thoughts and feelings right about now?
I don't want to make our employer angry.
I'm not saying you have to verbalize it, just, in terms of like to them, but like just, I want to get like an insight into what are the characters' thoughts and feelings right about now.
Helene is
I don't like our employer, and I want to make him humiliated. So I was thinking that we should dismount his head and put a protocol droid head instead. Put some elegant garb on it, and this is how at least his body can be smuggled in. And also he can be humiliated by that. And we smuggle his head somehow differently.
I think we can do this as is, well, by the book. I think this should work fine. Helene is almost somewhat like, no, maybe not excited, but kind of looking forward to it because it's a prestigious event. It's like it's almost like a kind of place she wants to be.
Also, Trix is a senator.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, Sky is just like, I have no idea how I'm ever going to do this, so I'm just going to let the others lead and just take point. Sky is just glad that she's an apprentice and not a test subject, as she thought IG-88 was about to say.
By the way, Rossos, did you suggest that idea, the protocol head, verbally?
Sorry?
Your idea. Did you suggest the idea of the protocol head switched verbally?
Actually, why not? Yeah, Roslos does suggest that.
Oh God. Oh, force save me.
At that point, 8088 walks up to Nuba, and the next thing you know, Nuba, the spindly little fingers of 8088 have gripped you by the neck and lifted you off the floor.
Oh, hey, oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to grab his fingers to bend them out. so that my neck doesn't get squashed.
Listen to me, Gungan. You will show me the appropriate amount of respect. Do you understand me?
I just nod my head but say nothing. I still throw daggers at him with my eyes, but I nod my head.
At that point, he lets go.
See, now we're not going to get anywhere if we tear each other apart before we even get to the party.
This is agreed.
Okay, my be good Gangan now.
This is agreed. This is a waste of our time.
We have plenty of prep work to do, and not a lot of time to do it in, so...
Indeed. Let's have a word with you in private, Mr. Vasto.
Of course.
Come on,
I
Ross.
gesture to my comrades to exit the room.
Come on, Rosos. I kind of gesture. I kind of gesture for him.
Let's
Come over to me.
At this point,
Yeah,
8088 kind of
I-
motions that that
I meekly follows it.
he kind of motions and says, "Down the hall, you have an accommodation for your own selves."
Thank you.
So that's the point. 88 is left alone, and he says, "Mr. Vasto, I believe you must have reasons to suspect, question why I wish to go to this party."
I mean, I have questions, but I don't know if it's my place to ask.
At that point,
He swivels his head around and says, "I wish to be Oh, I just switched the seat accidentally. My apologies, everyone. That is completely not what I wanted to do. Where is it again? RPG, there we go.
8088 says, "I believe that we can come to an understanding. See, I wish for you to do something for me at this party."
Okay.
What are the attendees?
And that...
What are the attendees of this party? Unfortunately, one I do not recall. I know of their name, but not what they look like. Years ago,
Right.
humiliated me, and I wish this individual to suffer the ultimate consequence.
The ultimate consequence?
The ultimate consequence, just like I nearly did to a dear friend, because it was exactly that which happened years ago. My head was swapped for another droid years ago in a prank attempted by this individual. I wish
see.
to eliminate this individual. Now you may sit down.
Huh.
Before you object, because that is, I believe, you have what these what guys call morals. I have an offer.
Okay.
He holds up a holographic image and presses on it, and on there, an image.
Sorry, an image of your husband appears. I am
an information broker. I can get information for you.
So, the price of this information is to kill this person.
That is affirmative.
I see. Helene just kind of seems pensive.
I imagine she would be at that
Quiet.
moment.
Oh.
88 doesn't even seem to factor in like if you're going to accept or refuse. It seems to be he seems to almost predicted that you will accept it. As it seems to be like just a matter of fact, he turns off the holographic and says,
"I hope this business exchange will be fortuitous for both of us."
Just sort of nod quietly.
It is your decision if you wish to involve your compatriots in this. However, I believe they might be morally questionable in these circumstances.
Yes. Maybe right. Thank you, 8088. I will continue with my preparations.
As you were. At that point, he kind of goes over to the droid and literally just starts plucking out parts from the droid.
Well then, I have much to do.
You do indeed have
So
much to
where should-
do.
So, where should we start? I guess a cover identity is probably a good idea first.
Well, we definitely need to get that. So going by 88's ideas, I will be a scientist. Sky will be my understudy.
Yes, ma'am.
Tricks, I think you can remain in a sort of political role, perhaps a benefactor for our facility, funding our research, something to do with that.
Noted.
And Roslos, you will be security, but we all need to have appropriate uniforms as well. Might be a good idea to get some sort of paperwork, identification that that essentially tells the uh the party hosts who we are and so on and so forth.
Hisa gave us any suggestions where to go to a forger?
Well, no, but I'm sure we can find something. There's all
Right.
sorts of interesting people on the core worlds.
It's all up to you guys what you want to do at this point. Just for record, your room is here. There is a couple of chairs and a bed, and as well as a couple of things you can convert into makeshift sleeping coordination.
At the bottom here, I'll have a look. Oh, is it this one, or is it?
No, it's over here. It's
Oh, that side. Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, right. I see. I just want to have a look. And I think I would imagine we would all congregate in here.
Mm.
Not bad.
Yeah, well, there you go. Right, this is very much now
Well-
open to you guys now. You guys have been given your objective, your prerogative. It's up to you guys to kind of now make up the plan. You've got 24 hours which to basically do that in. Well, or tomorrow evening,
Right.
effectively. It is if you're just about 12 hours at this point. So of course, doing stuff will take time. And of course, getting stuff will take money or favors or resources, depending on what it is. You can, of course, favor obligation as well. So, yeah, it's up to you guys now.
All right.
So
Also, feel
do
free
we
to
split?
feel free to discuss your employer as well, or just conversate as well.
Yes.
No thoughts, head empty.
Well, the droid is certainly a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I would prefer if we don't get ourselves killed before payday. Looks at Roslas.
My gonna be a good ganger now, but I don't like him at all. He's an at all.
We don't have to like him. We just have to do just as much as he wants and get the pay.
Yeah, it's a lucky day.
Well, I have a very basic idea. I mentioned to you that my mother is a doctor.
Mhm.
I may, in the creation of a medical ID, I may use her name, simply by virtue of the fact that, well, people will see a Tog Router who goes by Dr. Led, and it all will seem as it should be.
That could get your mother in
Yeah.
trouble. It's worth mentioning, Helene.
Well, it's true, but
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna need better clothing than this. I mean, people don't often see Sathari walking around, and I worry.
Mm. People don't see Gangan often either. Misa get some better clothing, but Misa look like a bodyguard anyway.
I think we can get something a bit sleeker for you, Roslos.
Mm.
A dark uniform, I think. Just something
Mm.
simple but appropriate for a upper class party. Wouldn't have to be. I'm not going to put you in a tuxedo, as fun as that would be.
Oh, that
Star Wars
would be
version of a
fun.
tux. Yeah, there is the Star Wars version of a tux. Yeah,
Yeah.
Do they even do suits that fit the Gungans?
there it
I
would. Yeah.
imagine so.
Gangans usually just wear very, very flowing big robes. So,
Mm.
but not the bodyguard, not the security Gangans. I'm afraid. Wisa could get something slightly imperial, maybe.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
They have a lot of uniforms.
Hmm.
Yes, it's just getting hold of them that's going to be difficult.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sure there's somewhere we can purchase some kind of attire here. All we have to do is at least look the part. Doesn't have to be perfect.
I wish we'd kept the
Mm.
stuff that Strahd put us in. Could it? Even if they weren't,
Hmm.
even if they were weird, I mean, it would be something better than this.
Guys, you never changed out of that.
Yeah, we still
Mhm.
have those, don't we?
You still have that, although
Yeah.
it is stuff from like 30
Mm.
years ago.
It could still be
It
used.
can still be used.
I mean, truth be told, a sort of recluse scientist that is buried in nothing but her work would not think of things like fashion and such. They would stop at fashion from 30 years ago. So
I'm a Sathari you picked up off Arbueen. Of course, I'm not going to be wearing the right clothing, even if I am your apprentice.
I think there's something we can do here. Right. If I could propose that Trix and Roslos, you try and procure some false identification. I will give you the names that I would like them to be under. And Sky and myself
Mhm.
will find some attire. I think if we can split up and get both of those sorted, we should be in a good place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Idea?
So I'm noting down a list of cover names for each of you. I'll allow you all to come up with whatever you want.
Okay,
But,
so
No thoughts head
yeah.
empty.
yeah.
You may come up with your own cover names or own cover identities if you wish. And yeah, and just let me know and we can do that for you. Just remember that you'll need to make sure you use them.
Haleen writes down Mrs. P. Honey Doctor.
It's for me it'll be Dr. Lorraine Led
All right.
is the name that I'll be going by. So
Oh, let me see if I can just. I know my first name. I don't know about my surname. I'm gonna just steal it off one of my old characters.
just go for it.
Some species don't even have two names. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. When you've decided your cover name, put it in just type it into the public chat, just so we have a record of that. I'll list it down there.
Public chat on
here
in the Discord or on
the disc. Oh no, on the game.
Forge.
So there's like on the Forge
Okay.
itself. There's like a written record.
Okay. Right, there we go.
So, Lorraine Led.
There we go. I butchered one of the surnames for my
Amani Dia.
Amani.
Amani Dia.
Mm,
Very nice.
no. Roster starts having an idea that maybe he would be able to trigger something, because if he puts a name of a person that he wants to find eventually, maybe something will happen that someone will recognize the name, or at some point it will the information will get to the right person and they'll start looking for something. So Roslos will go as
Zim. Yeah, nice. How about you,
I
Trix?
should have been funny. I should have been funny and done Cali Cali
I am going to actually not go with any fake identity because it's going to be hard enough getting in there with benefactors while also hiding behind a fake name and identity.
Oh, you're actually going to use your actual identity. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Brave. Makes sense, though.
yes, brave.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
At least I won't be
that way.
lying in the room.
I mean, I also have the benefit of using the name of a real person.
Yes. Okay.
I'm just here with a great big target pointer on my back.
So, who is finding the forger? I believe it's Trix and Roslos, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so
Trix
you
and
two
Roslos.
will need to make a streetwise check in order to locate a forger somewhere on the planet.
What's my role for that? Hang on.
Roslos turns to Trix and says, my thing, we wanna try and get support from our employer. Maybe he's know someone.
I'm happy to at least make a roll for it. I've got a yellow and two greens in it, so
Okay, let's do the please do the
it's
streetwise
only
check.
one purple dice, with a boost dice giving the very corrupt nature of the planet in terms of that there's a lot of forgery that can go on here. So it's a boost dice with a single dice. So yeah. However, I'm going to spend the one dark point I've got to make that a red because that could be fascinating. Good luck, Trix.
So base, one red, one boost.
And then whatever you roll for your
streetwise.
Yeah. Streetwise.
Yeah, that's why I said base is my.
There you go. Knocked out of park.
Nice.
2 successes, 4 advantage. So you're easily able to find a forger. What do you want to do for the advantages? I can offer a suggestion.
Maybe
go on.
negotiate the price down.
Precisely what I would do.
Well, I was going to say that's probably going to be the case anyway, but I might be able to use my negotiation for that myself. What I was going to do is because obviously my character didn't sleep while we were traveling, and I have 4 strain. I am happy to use that just to clear that 4 strain.
Sure, you may do that. However, it does mean that if you do want to negotiate, you will be going directly against their negotiation, rather than just getting a.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Cool. So make sure that you're aware of that. Right then, so you can do that as you are able to actually find a forger, and it's on one of the lower levels down. But after talking with a couple of people in making some signs, you're led to like a small back alley, and someone kind of knocks on the door, there's like a kind of like a, I don't know, like the door kind of like this kind of like holographic window kind of opens. It's like, what is it? And says, I got some customers for the big man. And the door kind of like slides open, and as you walk in, you see that it is not a Gungan, what is that species? I've done one of those things where I had a mind fart.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. Do you want the brain cell back?
I would appreciate if I got the brain shell back. Thank you. Nemoidian. There's a Nemoidian, who basically takes it like,
Victory.
please enter my establishment. And as you break through, it kind of takes you into a room, and there's this clearly modified droid that was like one of those cooking droids with like the multi arms, but it's got like underneath it's got like multiple kind of sensors attached to it, along with various writing implements as printing implements, and it seems to be just kind of like scrolling and printing. It says, "We specialize in the highest quality of correctives on various paperworks. What is it we can do for you today?"
Sorry, I'm just imagining.
Yeah, little droid.
We are looking for some amended documents. Let's put it that way.
The kind that the Imperials would ask you for if stopped, yes?
Sorry, say that again. I
The
didn't hear
kind
that too well.
the kind that the Imperials would ask for if they stopped you, yes. Basically ID. Identification
Yes.
papers.
Yes.
Yes, we can do this. When would you need it by?
I'm going to be brash and say within the next couple of hours.
At that point, the Nemoidian's kind of eyes kind of widen. It's like, that's very fast work. These things, they take time in order to verify the information and make sure everything's fine. The droid is one of a kind, but mistakes can happen. We could do it, but very expensive.
Carry on.
He says, let's see, for documents, the time, and 1,000 credits.
At which point I hand those 1,000 credits over.
Says, pleasure to
Actually, I
meet
would have probably wanted to negotiate on that, but I've negotiated the fact that I want them in the 2 hours, 2 hours in the first window in the first place.
Yeah, effectively, the 2 hours makes like if you'd have done it like in a week, you'd be like, it's fine, 100 credits. But the fact that you want it like now means priority work. So upfront, 1,000 credits. So he says, "It's a pleasure doing business with you." As he literally to test the coins, he taps it against the droid's head. And just this like the droid doesn't even stop.
Hilarious.
Doesn't even stop. It's like little kind of scribbling as it's printing documents. As it says, "We'll have the documents for you in the next 3 hours." He says, "Just down the road there is a holographic tree with a little trash dispenser outside. You'll find the documents taped underneath that in the package in 3 hours' time."
Noted.
All right, well done. You've managed to secure the false identity papers.
I'm just imagining the droid, like those little dot matrix sheets.
Yeah.
Like one of them is running through it.
Yeah.
But yes, and the other party was going to get uniforms. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Yes, we were.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll get the uniforms and then we'll take a quick break as well.
Great.
Right, so
Okay.
you guys are gonna get uniforms now. Are you going like legitimately going to get like some properly tailored, nice clothes?
Oh yeah.
All right, then in that case,
Yeah,
there's not really much of a check for it. It's a negotiation check to find a
Negotiation.
place. Yeah, now I'll
do that.
this will affect the price of the outfits, as well as
Do we want to flip a light side point?
You know what? We've got plenty. Let's do it.
yeah, you got plenty. Why not? Why not?
We're flipping a light side point for clothes shopping.
It's
But
it's going to be 2 purple dice,
Mhm.
because although Moana is a Corewell planet, it has of course had its troubled history. So it's not as easy to get a hold of. Like on Coruscant, it'd be like, it's not even a check for it, man. But this one it is. I'm also going to throw in a setback because of the fact that to import these clothes is probably a bit more expensive. So therefore,
Okay.
the cost is probably going to go up as a result.
So,
So
and I can use my light to upgrade a
Yeah.
green to a yellow. Yeah.
that is indeed correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So I've got 2 yellow, 1 green, 2 purple, and a setback die.
Yes.
Let's go.
Also known as rainbow dice.
Oh.
yeah, you do, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a triumph.
Nice.
Triumph. Yeah.
I like to imagine that Helene knows exactly the kind of stuff that she's looking for. Like she knows how to put on like a visual performance. So she's like, okay,
Yeah.
what do we need in this situation? And is like able to hone in exactly the right kind of like fit.
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
can picture in her mind exactly the sizes and the
Mhm.
dimensions of
Exactly.
that she needs the clothes for.
Yeah, Sky's just watching her like with rapture because she's never really seen anything like
Yeah,
As-
I'm just like pulling clothes off the rack and handing them to Sky. Like, hold,
So
hold this, hold this.
you find on one of the upper levels, like the point where you can actually see the sky,
Yeah.
that there's this, but you don't want to go too upmarket because of course that's where you start getting really expensive. So you find like one of the ones where it's a bit shadowy, a shop called Elegant Courtiers.
Ooh.
As you walk
Very
in,
nice.
there's a droid who is actually adorned with a suit. Like unlike normal droids who are not given clothing, this
Mhm.
droid is actually wearing a suit and even has a little kind of a towel draped over the arm. It is
Oh wow.
it is not a protocol
Nice.
droid. It's this thin-headed droid, and it says, "Oh, welcome to." No, let me get the voice modulator on. Actually, it's fun.
No,
Does he-
I'm not.
Does he have a little droid mustache?
Yes.
Yes.
You know what he does? He has a little kind of droid
Yeah,
mustache.
the
And
droid pencil masters made
Yeah.
with actual pencil.
Oh my god, yes. And it moves as well.
Welcome to Elegant Courtiers. We are the finest of where all the way from the outer rim here from Cotton to Coruscant. Here, Mawan. How am I? Oh, I just say you're looking very ravishing today, miss.
Oh, thank you. Well, aren't you a dashing droid yourself? We're looking for some very wonderful uniforms for a party tomorrow. I'm sure you'll be able to help us with that, yes?
Is it the scientific gala by any chance? Yes, many people
Of course, you know your stuff.
Many people have come here for the finest of attires here. And what sizes we do? Is it a new dress for Madame? Maybe for the lady?
I think so, yes. And I also provide measurements for all the people involved, and that sort of thing.
I don't want to say, of course.
TP!
He just shouts like TP, and like this little droid on a wheel comes out. This little kind of like feel like BD1 size droid,
Yeah.
and it kind of reaches. It doesn't have an arm. It only has one arm. You notice that it reaches in and it pulls like it's got like a tape that it kind of pulls through its
The
arm.
tape measure is in the wheel. Oh my goodness,
And-
yes.
And
Oh, yeah.
and then when it approaches you, it then telescopes up from its wheel and it starts to kind of like measure, the
that's
sky.
Mhm. I just like hold my arms out, like knowing the exact process. Like, yeah, I've been here before. I've done this sort of thing.
Yeah, Sky's a little uncertain, but she always does what the droid says, and she's just.
At this point, the droid starts the little TP starts kind of like saying something and it beep beep beeps. It's like,
No, in that plumage, no, you must be insane. No, maroon is not that color, no.
and
Yeah.
as I'm doing the trope of the typical book bickering two tailors because it's funny. Now, what did you get for the advantage? You got triumph and advantages. So your successes means you're going to find the suits that you need for everyone, which is good. What do you want to do with the advantages and the triumphs, Helene? I would say that probably to get all the suits, it was probably going to be like 1,000 credits to rent, or
Sure.
more if you wanted to just keep them. If you wanted to actually keep them, it'd be 5,000. That's 1,000 each, which you could if you wanted to, which is probably too expensive.
I think it was simply going to rent today.
Mhm.
But I like I think with the Triumph,
Mm-hmm.
if possible, I would like to kind of say that I find like an outfit that looks pretty much identical to something that I knew my mother wore.
Ah,
Ah.
Like guys, like I remember dressed just like that,
yeah. The color's a tiny
and
bit
I'm like,
off, but it's just
yeah,
close enough.
yeah,
So yeah, I say that's perfectly acceptable. That it would help sell the illusion of that it was
mhm,
your mother here, not yourself.
yes.
Um,
So we're going from one illusion to another.
yeah, fantastic. As
Mhm.
Sky and Helene spend several hours there with the two droids. As Sky, is Sky one for dress, or would she like have like a suit or like a tailored? What would Sky stand for? Do you
Uh,
think?
I think she would probably have like it's one of those dresses, but it's sort of parts, so the legs can show because it's not like
Hmm.
Sky's got much. She look like she looks very androgynous,
Yeah,
sort of thing.
it's also a draped one, so it
Yeah.
allows your wings and arms to freely kind
Yeah, a
of
sort of
move.
draped poncho-y thing. So that's
Hmm.
Yeah,
the
so there's like
yeah,
there's long
the
bits that
feathers.
allow her to walk, but there is like a small tunic underneath to cover.
Indeed.
Yeah, probably with very long sleeves, like those robes that the ancient Chinese court would wear.
Yeah.
Helene, what kind of attire do you get for Roslos, Trix, and do you get Das involved as well? I can imagine you probably want him
I
there.
mean, I do. I would pick up like a sort of a nice little sort of maybe like a kind of tux kind of thing for Das,
Yeah,
just in case he's ready to turn up.
sure.
Mhm.
And you imagine you will be so like we've prepared like a little thing for him. For Tricks, it would kind of be something similar to her resplendent robes already. Like something appropriate for like a politician. It wouldn't be
Mm,
too dissimilar, but maybe just a little bit fancy, a little bit more gold trims, that sort of thing.
mm, mm.
As for Roslos, it's kind of like I'm kind of imagining like it's sort of like it's a sort of a black uniform, um, almost like a sort of like a little bit like an office uniform, almost maybe a little bit
Mm.
like Luke's outfit in Return of the Jedi,
Yeah,
kind of
like
like black,
yeah,
Mm,
trim,
the wrapped
slim.
tunic.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm. Yeah, nice.
something like that.
Mm.
And that's like I'm like going across the store, finding different things, going that's right, that's something like that, yeah. And I'm just like pulling things together and like imagining it, and
Mm.
showing the droids like pictures of the of everybody.
Yeah. As soon as you see the pictures,
Yeah, now all the
yeah,
pictures of Roslos are him beating up
It's
things.
like it's like a montage.
yeah. Can't use that one. Can't use that one. Definitely on that one.
Yeah.
Um, and it's one of the things because it's the droids already like work for the measurements, and
Mhm.
the main droid, who introduces himself as TL,
Mhm.
TLR, and he
Taylor, yeah.
Taylor,
Ah, Taylor.
uh, his TLR1, he is basically he was like, well, those are not the colors I had in mind. I mean, with that skin, no, 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 no. And then so he starts picking out the same outfit but now in a different color, which he goes he says
the black, madam. It's very nice, very slimming, and for the Gungan,
Mm.
especially with their very frame. Show off those muscles and security, I assume.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Indeed. Oh, so that means we need to allow some room for potential accessories.
I would think so, yes.
Like fantastic. Take me.
and you know
I'm imagining this is like a Basil Fawlty and Manuel kind of relationship.
yeah, kind of, yes.
Yeah.
And you leave several hours later with the suits very well, nicely attired in a little. It's not a droid. It's basically a like you get like gurneys for like
Mhm.
for such. It's almost like it's a moving coat hanger trolley, which basically hovers alongside you to keep the suits
Yes.
Oh
hanging
yeah, I know what you mean.
perfectly
Yeah, yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
And they were inclusive, and that was inclusive in the price. Because the idea is
For
once
the rental price.
yeah, because the idea is once you're done, you simply put it back on the rack, and then you push the button, and it will take it back to the shop. So you don't even need to, you
Yay.
don't even need to go
Yeah.
back to the shop to get it, as long as you know. So there you go.
Yeah. So it was 1,000 credits, wasn't it? For
1,000 credits for the
everything
rent.
together.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fair.
Mm,
All right. I've noted that down. Brilliant.
mm.
After from that,
Nice
we're
one.
gonna take a quick break, everyone. We're gonna be away for the next just a couple of minutes, just so we get ourselves get some food potentially and get a drink refill and such. We'll be right back, everyone.
All right.
And we are back with part 2 of today's stream, which will be going for the next, hopefully, hour or so. Right then, so let's get back at it. So last time we were just basically getting together the clothing for the job. At this point, I imagine you guys have reconvened back at your hideout, as it were, your little rented apartment. And I imagine like the clothes, like you've unzipped it, and you're all like trying on the various clothes. Is what they are. Roslos, how comfortable do you feel in this tight tunic?
I don't think you know the scene from memes, but I'm guessing the rest knows from Lord of the Rings when Gimli is trying a chainmail that is way too big for him and he's dropped it on the floors and it's too tight in the arms.
I know exactly which one you're meaning there.
Yeah. So it's like Rustless is not very comfortable with that because it's like he feels a bit naked in this because it's just material, it's just fabric, like very thin, not protective at all, covering him. So he doesn't feel great. But he he can cope. It's like for a while he would be walking around very uncomfortable, and then he'll get used to it.
I'll just be like reassuring, like, you look fine.
Mm.
It's only for a night. You don't have to be wearing this all the time.
Is one good thing of it. My security, so I can bring some weapons on board, and those could be your weapons.
Yeah, see, we left you a little bit of room.
Just
Those
a bit of
droids
room. Yes, Guy?
Yeah, so I think Roslos would be like taking Helene's gun or Sky's gun or Das's and trying to see which one is the most comfortable carrying around.
Oh, pistols,
or both,
definitely.
or
Yeah.
more.
Definitely pistols. You were going to say something, Sky?
I was just like, these droids have done such a good job.
I know quality when I see it.
So Roslos, you've got a blaster pistol. You can conceal the blaster pistol, but it is very easily to see. It is quite conspicuous. It's only a slight lump, so like someone can just a glance won't tell. Sky, your DL-18 is on the smaller side. It's not a holdout blaster, but it's just enough that you can conceal it as well. But again, a pat down would reveal it. Tricks, you've got a holdout blaster that can be very much concealed upon your person, making it harder for someone to do that. Helene, I think you have this molecular stiletto, don't you?
Which is, it's made to be concealed, isn't it?
Yeah, it is made to be concealable, which that is. The blaster pistol definitely is a blaster pistol, but that does say as perception check to find it, so that is concealable effectively. So you made
Well, my idea was actually that since I am officially a security detail to the ambassador, to the senator, I would be allowed weapons for defending them.
Oh, you'd be allowed.
So I was thinking
You'd be allowed a weapon, not necessarily multiple weapons.
Yeah, so this is why I was thinking I would carry weapon of one of them, Skies or Helene's. Possibly Skies in this case, because I could try if it came to fight, I would try my new Force Conjure to get myself weapons. Whereas I could bring in someone else's weapon.
It's a good idea, but Sky is a little reluctant to hand over her DL88 because of its sentimental value to her.
However, as much I also like that idea, wouldn't it look a bit odd with a fundraiser or maybe somebody that would look like a necessary diplomat or somebody working high enough in a government to be walking into a gala with necessarily a pistol on them?
But there's been some trouble on this planet, you know.
Plus, also, like I say, it can be
I-
concealed. It's just if they're patted down, it'll be
Yeah.
revealed.
Yeah.
But my thinking was, is if Rossos is meant to be security detail, if I made it clear that I've gone in there with, bringing no arms to bear, it's the whole. I said I'm not going to shoot anything. I didn't say anything about them.
Mm.
Kind of thing is where I was going with that.
It's up to you. I mean,
As much
I know, I feel it would be strange if the security for any sort of dignitary would come to any sort of public official party unarmed.
mm.
I mean,
I'll
It's
carry.
not-
I'll carry it then, and just hope that it doesn't get detected or isn't too
Are you talking about your? Are you talking?
suspect me having it.
Are you talking about your holdout blaster
Yes.
tricks? Okay, so
Yes.
holdout blasters specifically are designed to be small and concealable. So like Helene's, yours also would grant setback dice to locating it. So yours, basically think of it like this:
Okay.
it's because Sky is a normal blaster pistol, but it's quite normal size. Usually, holdout blasters are very like small. Think of them like they're the Derringer. They're the Derringer of the Star Wars universe. So that's why they're called holdout blasters. So
Okay. That's fine. Yeah. I'll keep it on me then.
Yeah, although Sky would want to keep her blaster on her after what happened with Strahd, I think when she really thinks about it, like, nah, let's not go into a cool world party, like, even with a concealed blaster. Even though it might get her in trouble later, but best to be safe than sorry, and she's not going to carry a weapon on her.
Okay, she's not going to carry a weapon. So are you going to therefore keep it in the apartment? Are you going to take it back to the ship and leave it there? What are you going to do with it?
I'm definitely going to leave my blast. I'm going to leave my blaster in the ship along with the energy bow.
That's fine. I don't think.
Even
Yeah.
even though I know there could be something horrible happen to that ship now.
Well, no, it's a case of if you need to get off in a hurry, you may not have time to go back to the apartment.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and also like there is no way they'll let me in with an energy bow, even if it's collapsible.
Oh no, the energy bow will be like, nah, you're not bringing that in.
No.
Yeah.
Like if Das was here,
His walking stick.
if Das was here, he would not be allowed his rifle in because it's them rules.
Yeah.
Right. Is there any more prep work that you guys wish to do before the party?
Well, I'll make sure. Well, everybody's got. Well, when can we? Have we collected the IDs yet? Has it been enough time to find and collect them?
Oh yeah, I would say that you've collected the IDs. You've gone
Okay.
and like picked the dead drop up, and you
Yeah.
found
Yeah.
inside the forged
before-
IDs.
Yeah.
For everybody as well.
Everybody, yes.
Yeah, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think.
Before we changed into our outfits, we went to pick up the
Sky,
IDs from
Great.
the trash dispenser.
Sky.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I was thinking we need to rehearse our backstories and IDs so we're not caught. We're not caught short at a checkpoint.
Of course. So I will be Dr. Lead whenever you're around me.
Yes, Doctor.
Perfect. Would you
I-
say you're a doctor, Sky,
Um,
or are you still?
I would
training way
say
back?
you found. Sure.
Right back, everyone.
Yeah. Dr. Dyer.
Yes.
Okay.
You could probably play up that you found me. It's like I have a scholarship to you or something.
Yes. A scholarship. I like that. Tricks. We need to figure out exactly what your relation is to us. Financial benefactor is my sort of main thought.
I was gonna say if the whole point is it's a fundraiser,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I would, fundraiser. Maybe
I'm back.
oh, what do you call it? I'm trying to think of the word now. It's good of me, isn't it?
A patron?
What word are you trying to think about?
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
I
And
think it.
No, I was
88.
trying to.
88 would be what was it you said? A
Humble administrative droid or something.
an administrator. Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose I could play it off that maybe myself and IG are the benefactors, and we go in together as like a pair.
I think 88 could be like your secretary assistant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring him in with like a data pad, and he's making notes and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
I'm sure
Because
he'll be fine with that and able to handle it. And if Das is available in time, we will. I think he will just be an extra part of the security detail.
Yes.
That seems like a good idea, right?
Yeah, this
Right.
to security and an administrative droid. That makes sense for a
Mhm.
senator.
Yeah. One for the doctor and one for the senator.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and one for the little boy who lives down the lane.
I was there already, Beth. I was there with you.
Well, if you guys are ready, then you can guys have a rest, and you'll get, of course, heal or strain.
Mhm.
The next day, I'm going to say that Das is well enough to join you,
Mhm.
but he's going to be there in the background, effectively,
Okay.
keeping a low profile.
Yeah.
Can I have my setback die gone now? I've had a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that's gone.
Thank you.
All right. Right then. So what time is the party today?
It's actually at 5 p.m. in the evening, which is still light during the day.
Okay.
In fact, we're going to move over to the party right now.
Whoa. Okay.
Well,
Scream wipe time.
unless there's any other
Yeah.
prep you guys need to do.
I mean, I would assume I run through everything with 88.
Oh yeah, that would be
beforehand, but,
that would be assumed. Yeah.
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 But that would just be a repeating of information. So yeah.
Yeah. we let Das know what the plan is.
Yeah. And Das's code name is whatever Lemming wants it to be.
Gun.
Gun.
Understandable.
Yeah.
he's-
Gun with two N's.
Yeah. I mean, he could go as Layman Russ.
Layman Russ. Love it.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to stream wipe over to the gala.
Mhm.
There we go.
Oh,
Now,
that's nice.
there are a couple of guards here.
Ooh.
I'm not including all NPCs
Wow.
because there's more than that there. These are the important
Mm.
people, effectively. So
Right.
there's a couple of guards who are at the door who welcome you into this. Now, this is the residence of one of the party goers. So you don't know who it is, but you just know it's a residence. As these couple of heavies in a couple of tunics, very similar to Rosalos, as you about to enter, as you're approaching, you actually find that there is this lovely woman, along with two, what you mean to be her security escort, and you hear her saying, "What do you mean you can't find our name on the guest list? I am, I am Baroness Camilla Darcy. I'm tempted to accept this." And at this point, she she sighs and turns around to you and says, "Can you believe this? They cannot find my name on the guest list."
I walk up to her and say, "Ah, Baroness, so wonderful to see you." And then, like, turning to the administrative people, I'm like, "I'm sure you've had a long day already, but surely the Baroness should be allowed in."
Oh, nice, nice. And at that point, the girl says, "In who are you, lady?"
Dr. Lorraine Led, at your service.
"I don't see your name on the list either, Doctor."
Well, there's clearly something wrong with the list, then, isn't there? Go on, toddle on, get it sorted.
Oh, oh wait, oh,
Dang!
give me a leadership check as you're basically saying, "No, you're wrong, toddle on."
Yeah. All right. I'm going to use a light side point for this.
Understandable.
Okay. So, what is my difficulty?
It's gonna be 2, but with a boost side because this guy realizes this could cause a scene and doesn't,
Okay.
and that might, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's the second guest in a row that's not on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've okay. I've got 1 yellow, 2 green, 2 purple, and a boost. Let's hope for the best here.
Mhm.
Oh, it failed.
No.
As the guard says, "Unfortunately, we're not on the list, and that does mean that I have to, unfortunately, not turn you away from here." As the Baroness says, "Oh, come on now, my dear good man. We come all the way from Coruscant for this. You can't expect us just to turn around and go away. I am here at the request of the chairman himself." At that
The
point,
chairman.
yeah. Go on, Helene. Take it.
I'm just backing up, like just almost like a hype man thing. The chairman.
The
Did you say from
chairman.
the upper heads of the chairman?
Yeah, I'd like to see your manager.
I love it. I love it. At the sound of a ruckus, this gentleman in a lovely kind of patient kind of says, "Ah, Baroness," as he as he says, "I wasn't expecting you to attend today. I didn't think this would be your kind of scene, my dear." As he kind of approaches, he kind of takes her hand and like press and like kisses it. She's a Zeltron for the record. For the, that's her pink skin. She says, "I'm terribly sorry. Also, thank you for following. I'm not TS Idea Machines, which is probably a bot. I don't know if you're in the chat. If you're not a bot, please say hi.
What's your favorite color, person?
No offense intended. It's just that's a rather unique name. And it says, "I'm terribly sorry. There must be a problem. Of course, your entourage will have to check any kind of weapons at the door and make sure. I mean, this is a very private affair, and I'm not someone who likes weapons in my abode." At that point, the two guards in front, one pulls out this one here, pulls out his blaster pistol and like showed the guards, or getting pat down and having his pistol returned to him. This lovely individual has a knife, 2 knives pulled out of his boots, followed by a hidden fiber wire hidden in the belt, and finally a blaster pistol tucked in the small of the back. To which the Baroness was
pulling out weapons.
yeah. To which the Baroness says,
putting them all.
To which the Baroness says, "Unfortunately, he's very peculiar about his weaponry." At that point, they take all but the blaster pistol away and hand that back to him. Much to, getting a from the Trandoshan at the same time. To which one of the guards very quickly makes themselves absent. And he says they'll be returned to you upon your leave. And who are your who is accompanying you? As he motions to you behind you.
I give a courtesy. Dr. Lorraine Led. This is my understudy, Dr. Dyer. I have a security detail here as well. And this is Trix, a benefactor for our wonderful scientific purposes. And of course, our administrative droid here as well.
The droid remains silent. 8088 has not said a word since you left on this adventure, which I actually completely forgot to add him into the scene, which I'll add him now.
Why have I got a bad feeling that he's he's not very happy against the chairman here?
And at this point, the chairman's like, well, I certainly wasn't expecting. Dr. Lorraine, was it?
Lorraine Led.
Lorraine Led. Yes, yes, I do believe I've heard of a Dr. Lorraine Led from medical practice in the field of is it cybernetics?
That's right.
Indeed.
The name gets around.
Indeed, welcome. I did. Unfortunately, your name appears to not be on my guest list. I can only
administrative problems happen all the time.
I can only apologize. Please come in, and make yourselves at home. There is a Corellian brandy available and for consumption. Please take that from one of my servers, and please do to mingle. The speeches will commence very shortly.
Wonderful.
At that point, the Baroness says, "Oh, I've been wanting a drink all day." At which point, she kind of starts to make her way into the rec room, where she seems to take a seat near someone in an Imperial uniform.
Wonderful.
So now is the opportunity to mingle. You can now mingle these individuals and learn who they are.
Okay.
Out of character, is that really Galen Urso in the corner there?
Or is it just Mads Mikkelsen lookalike?
Go and ask him.
I will. I'm going to turn to my entourage and say, "Now, don't get into trouble." And I will give a nod to 88, and let's enjoy the party.
Okay. 888 joins you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
I don't recognize any of them so far, or need names in order for me to identify them.
Understandable. That's why we will mingle. I'm sure things will become clear once the speeches start happening and people start gathering up.
so again, is the opportunity
Nuba's following as a security detail. Nuba's following Helene, and once again taps her on the shoulders like, "You, sir, might want ask someone to be introduced to the company that might give you all the names."
Indeed.
It's what I learned with the Zeman family.
Just looking around the map.
Yeah.
See all the faces I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Intriguing.
You can approach any of them and talk to any of them.
Maybe with a new friend Baroness want to show us who's her.
I think I'm going to approach the Baroness's.
The Baroness.
Her table. Oh, goodness me. Always such a fuss at the beginning of the party, isn't there?
And Shixie says, "Oh, yes, it's always happening. I mean, Lord knows they should expect I'm coming. I always come to this event every single year."
Well, that's the administrative teams for you. They're always forgetting something.
I'm saying, of course, I can't begrudge them, especially with the Empire being around these days. No offense, Admiral, as she mentions over to him, which the Admiral speaks up like, the Empire are the ones keeping security in this sector. Baroness. He uses the term. He uses the title Baroness, but you can see that the respect is not conveyed in how he said it. That's the best way of explaining it.
I look over to the admiral and say, "Yes, security is very important for events such as this. You wouldn't want any ne'er-do-wells getting in, now would you?"
Indeed. I mean, I did offer to have some Imperial security on force, of course. They denied it, but we do have some of our own
Oh.
here.
They denied it. Oh,
I don't know why,
just
but
go to show what they know.
all I know is that Dr. Urso came with his own entourage. Not sure
Dr.
why.
Urso. What's his deal then?
At that point, the admiral takes a large kind of drink and says, "He's here to explain his research into crystals of some kind. Apparently, he's up to some kind of special project."
How fascinating. I may have to pick his brains in regards to that. Sounds fascinating.
At that point, kind of the governor just starts to kind of chat about the recent proceedings and how it was terrible how the hotel room just wasn't up to her standards, and basically just talking about the typical kind of first world problems that would that someone in a privileged position would talk about. You do
Yes.
notice that this individual is eyes are scouring around the room. What is so we know what Helene's doing. Rossos is following along. Sky, what are you doing?
Being very, very out of my depth. Being very out of my depth and not really wanting to show it. I'm keeping close to the plants, but also just trying to keep Helene in sight as well. Just sort of just hovering. Just hovering in the corridor. Like,
at that point, this individual spots you.
Oh hell.
And his eyes kind of light up as he makes his way over to you. Not like in like a emergency, but like as in like a party goer kind of making their way over to someone who they've noticed is of interest.
Like he doesn't care about approaching you, but he approaches you anyway.
And
Like, approach casually.
Yeah, approach casually. At this point, he kind of reaches out, and as he kind of crosses that pressure, he kind of laughs at the proceedings going on, and he kind of looks over and reaches out and says, "Professor Zandelaric, my dear."
Oh, hello. I'm Dr. Dyer. I'm with Dr. Led over there, just in Helene's direction.
Indeed, although it was yourself that I'm most interested in. It's not often we have someone of your species here. Sathari, indeed. Such a fascinating people.
Yes, the same reason I'm with Dr. Laird actually. She saw that I had some natural talents in understanding cybernetics, and she's just been considering the challenges of making a cybernetic wing. You see, as you can probably imagine, it's not that easy to make a complete wing function exactly how ours do.
He downs his drink and says, "I'm um, I'm a political scientist, my dear. I study cultures, and this is why I couldn't help but make my introduce myself with a culture like yours, with their the way their society is organized in houses. I just couldn't help but be curious. If it's cybernetics that you want to discuss, though, I believe Dr. Sato, and he kind of motions over towards the gentleman in the corner over here. He is a cyberneticist here attending the party. I think he's here regarding biomechanical interfaces or some sort.
Oh, that would be right up the doctor's alley. You said you're interested in political sciences. What's your particular study right now? You must be here at this party for a reason.
Yes, in fact, I'm studying interstellar governance systems. Right now, I'm studying, of course, the Empire and seeing if they are how should I put this delicately? How respectful they are for their denizens. Of course, better than the Old Republic, of course. He says quite nervously. But he says, yes, I study governance systems and even attempt to put my recommendations to the Empire to be like leave a system independently governed in some manners.
Have they done so? The Empire to me has always seemed to want people to dance to their own drum.
Alas, alas, my dear, they do not take to my recommendations.
It's quite a shame, actually. I think some people have their own good ideas. I think, but you can hardly blame the Empire for wanting everybody to talk, sing to the same song sheet. I mean, after all, we had that big war against the Republic and the Separatists. The Empire wants to keep everything peaceful, as they say.
I certainly want to keep it peaceful. He motions over to the other Imperial um, officer, who's just kind of standing around looking around the party. He says, that woman has been looking around this entire party all evening. And look at that. Look at the patch on her shoulders. Compnor. He shakes his head and kind of gives a kind of a disgusted kind of face.
Oh, I guess not even a party such as this escapes their gaze.
Bear in mind that he did mention Compnor, which is a division of the Empire. Do you want to do a check on if you know about Compnor?
Yes, I might as well.
Knowledge law or knowledge underworld? I will also
I've got what
I'll also
I've got
accept
none in
knowledge
either.
core world.
I've got none in either, so
One bubble dice is not exactly a secret. Oh, the threat is appropriate. You're going to get strain, as Compnor stands for the Commission of the Preservation of the New Order. Generally speaking, they are the military part, and the civilian and the kind of administration part of the Inquisitors.
Oh, lovely. So I suppose nowhere escapes their gaze now.
No, indeed not. Anyways, pleasure to meet you, Miss.
Dr. Dyer, Amani Dyer.
Nice, nice. She says, I bid you good evening, Doctor Dyer, and I wish to mingle a bit further.
Of
At that
course,
point,
you too, Professor.
he starts to make his way over to the southern kind of area here.
Wonder, inhaling. I'm going to keep out of sight of this person. I'm
Yes.
just gonna sit here and.
Drix, what are you doing?
I think I'd probably much stay with Sky, like all the way through this as a sort of thing anyway, because the fact of it's yes, she's the understudy, but also the fact of when it comes to the fundraising side of things, I could mention something, and also the fact of that guy mentioned the nature of his the reason for why he's here, and I'm like, thinking that maybe there could be other diplomatic reasons why other people are here.
Mhm.
True. All right then. In that case, since Roslos is sticking with Helene, what are you doing now?
Mm-hmm. Well, after
I will say,
finding out a little.
After talking to the Baroness, you found out that she doesn't really know much about people here. She only knows the university head by name, but doesn't know who he is.
I have like there's like a little. I put a pin in the Baroness like in my head because like she also wasn't on the list, which means
Yeah.
she probably has some reason to be here, which I'm curious about. But I'm not like betraying any of that. I'm just like interesting.
Yeah. Interesting.
I will, since Dr. Erso was mentioned, I'm gonna go and see if we can track down Dr. Erso.
Yes, I mean, it was mentioned that he had an entourage, and you do
Yeah.
find a lovely gentleman sat in a corner with two
Oh.
Imperial stormtroopers flanking him.
Hmm.
They don't look like they're there for protection because the party's already got security, which is curious why Urso has two stormtroopers with him at all
Yeah.
times.
I just kind of I gently as I'm walking past the stormtrooper, I gently put like a hand on his shoulder and says, "Well, you look wonderful in white, my dear." And as I just walk past him,
At that point,
and I
Yeah.
sit,
the stormtrooper just kind of
So
gazes
Russell
and
was
watches.
following Haleen, but also while following because 88 is still standing in the corridor. Russell is approaching him and asks, "So, have you saw heard any names that ring the bell yet?"
At that point, he looks over and says, "I wasn't aware you're involved in the mission as well."
Misa just security, but you know.
None so far. However, once one comes to light, hopefully it will spark my memory circuits. Then the real fun will begin.
Russell just nods his head and follows Haleen as a security detail.
all right, so yeah, I sort of walk past the stormtrooper and try to meet Dr. Erso's eyes.
Oh, they don't stop anyone from approaching. It's just that they're just there. As he does meet your eyes and says, "Well, you're looking very, very good tonight, my dear."
Dr. Erso, I presume.
You would assume correct. You notice that he's wearing an imperial scientist uniform, although the patch on the shoulder is not a patch you're familiar with. It's a looks like a grid of green lines coming out from a singular point.
I hear you are involved with some interesting research on crystals. I'd love to hear more about that.
Hmm. He does and says, unfortunately, most of my work is classified, as you understand, but
Of course.
um,
I understand, yeah.
although
I'm-
my research in crystals is main to harnessing the energy within crystals.
I see. That's fascinating. I'm a doctor myself in cybernetics. Dr. Lorraine Led. Perhaps you've heard of me?
He extends his hand and shakes it with yours and says, "I'm familiar with your work, Doctor. Your work on cybernetics speaks for itself."
Thank you so much.
What's
I
that?
was sitting next to him on the sofa.
And what brings you to this establishment? Here to talk about your own research?
Oh, a bit of that. Just getting to know the broader scientific community. It's good to make friends. I have some hoping to meet some potential benefactors as well.
You'll find many investors
usual.
here, especially of the but the question is if they're of the scrupulous kind. At that point, you hear a laugh from across the a table as these two individuals here are involved in a conversation. And this one here says, "Of course, the Interceptor is the most advanced fighter we've ever produced. The technology in that thing is boundless, and well, you should see some of the projects I'm working on, especially with a certain admiral. Oh, Cyanide Fleet Systems. We are the finest shipmakers in the galaxy. No one unbeatable. Even Kuat wouldn't dare come against us. At that point, Galen Urso just kind of rolls his eyes and says, "You probably know of Mr. Rafe Sinar, CEO of Sinar Fleet Systems.
Of course.
Never understood how someone could have such pride in building such destructive devices."
Well, I guess some people just see it a different way. See it as a way of making money or building prestige. You don't seem like that sort of person, though.
At that point, he says, "We need to do the work that we have to do. That's all we need to do here. I am a servant of the Empire, and I do my duty."
I just sort of nod gently. Well, it was wonderful meeting you, Dr. Urso. I wish you the best of luck in your research.
Leave it to yourself, Doctor. As you're standing up, this individual takes notice of you.
Yeah. Okay.
He approaches you, and actually, I don't have a voice synthesizer directly for him, but it is heavily synthesized underneath, as he's got a respirator. He's also in a little hover chair, seemingly disabled. As he says, "Ah, Dr. Lorraine Led. I heard that name. I thought it might have been you, my dear."
So wonderful to meet you.
As he kind of doesn't extend his arm, as he says, "Oh, forgive me. I am Dr. Magdatavius Score, roboticist.
Ah, wonderful.
Tell me."
Wait a minute.
Yes, well.
No, keep going.
He says, "Tell me, my dear, we have a very similar field these days. Have there been any interesting develops in the realm of cyber technology that I should know about? Something that could benefit perhaps both our various industries."
um, I'm just gonna play it a little bit coy and say, well, there's always new developments, but nothing I'd quite like to be able to share yet. We're working on things, but it's all very early days.
"Well, when you do, come and meet me. I am nothing if not an expert. I wish to be on the cutting edge of robotics. Of course,
Oh,
I would dare
believe me.
I would dare say if I was working 10 years ago, the separatists themselves would have employed me for their own army."
Perhaps things would have worked out differently if you were in charge back then.
Oh, indeed. Indeed. Forgive me. I best get back to Mr. Sinar. We were discussing the prospect of a droid fighter pilot for his range of fighters.
Oh, fascinating. And absolutely worth discussing. Go right ahead. I won't keep any longer.
All right. There you go.
They sweat slightly, like.
Well, anything? Where do you go from here? Well, actually, I'm gonna 80 pick up from here as he goes over to Sky and Trix and say,
"What are you two doing? You're not being paid to mingle, you're being paid to work."
I'm sorry, sir. I have no idea what I'm doing.
We're here to find out names of all these individuals who I can identify as the one that I wish to meet.
I know there is someone Compnil.
Or the
Okay.
conservation, the preservation of the Empire. I don't care what their title is, I need names. God, this is why I hate working with organics.
Oh, I know. Sometimes I hate being an organic. All right.
Do you act on that at all?
Yeah, I glance nervously towards the door because I know Compnor's behind it. I'm just like, Trix, we better go and get in there. Let's go.
Mm.
Yep.
I prefer if you do the talk, if that's possible.
I'll happily do as much talking as you'd like me to do.
So just make my way to the door and take a look around.
Yeah, the Copner agent seems to be more invested in their data pad more than anything else at this point.
Excellent.
Give me a cool check. Give me a cool check, please, Sky. It's gonna give me 2 purple
What's the
dice.
difficulty?
Okay, you suffer a strain, but you at least don't look conspicuous by the fact that you're afraid to kind of step in the room and try and avoid the gaze of the Copner agent. You've successfully managed to maintain your cool. So basically, just like you're just hanging about the door. You know, like no, nothing's wrong. You know.
I mean, Trix. Who do you think? Who do you think we should chat to? Who do you think's got the most interesting stories?
I would suggest, say, the guys in the far left corner.
Oh yes, the professor said that one of them was interested in cybernetics.
Exactly right up your street, right?
Kind of.
On paper, at least.
Paper at least. Well, let's time like the present. Let's go.
Making your way over. Yeah, the 2 individuals are going to be talking over a couple of drinks and seem to be laughing together as the Twilight looks up. She says, "Ah, another one for the group. Hello, Dr. Dr. Rendara, archaeologist. This is
Hello,
Dr.
my name is
And she basically says, and she says, and this is Dr. Sato. Which he says, pleasure
Dr.
to meet you.
Sato. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you, doctors. Dr. Sato. I was just speaking to I was speaking to the professor out in the corridor, and he mentioned your name about in regards to the field of cybernetics. I'm an apprentice of Doctor Lorraine Laird, who's also mingling around here. We also work in that same field.
He says, I cannot believe I've heard of Dr. Led's work, but then I spend most of my time in the Outer Rim. But still, your interest fascinates me. You're her apprentice?
Yes, I recently received a scholarship to be taught under her lead.
Interesting. Why would a
Oh, I
Sathari
was
have...
waiting for you to say under her wing.
What interest would someone like you have in cybernetics, my dear?
Oh, I've always been quite well as a Safari, as somebody you don't a race you don't often see out in the out in the wider galaxy. The Doctor was quite interested in the unique challenges that my physiology presents, such as my wings here. Um, though rudimentarily cybernetics could replace them if I lost them, to get to get cybernetics as close to an organic as this would be incredible, and she wishes to take on the challenge.
At that point, he steps up and kind of mocks you on the table, and he kind of motions like, "May I, my dear?" In motioning to your wings.
Oh, of course, yes.
So he kind of asks you to kind of open them so he can have a look. He says, "Ah, yes, most complicated. Not only would you have the limb to concern yourself with, but every single feather moves with your body. The actual interface between the brain and the synthetic implement would have to be very advanced. Thankfully, that's my area of expertise.
Oh, really?
Indeed, I've recently been um, commissioned by Incom to look into their cybernetic biomechanical interface for one of their new fighters.
Oh, really? Wow. I
It,
didn't realize that Incom was thinking thinking that detailed into their fighters.
well, it comes with the territory, with the advancing technology and military technology. They believe that a true merging of man and machine is what's needed for their new fighter.
Yes. Yes, I can completely understand. If you know, because there's always going to be a problem between person and machine. You would need to a way to merge the two into like a perfect being would be very incredible.
Thus eliminating any of the problems that were found between pilot input and chip response. Exactly.
Yes, I could see a lot of problems. I could see we still have some problems to overcome though, because even if you merge the two, the biological person would still need to be fed and watered and to be able to get rid of waste products. So finding a balance between the advantageous learning of the biological brain and the perfect logic of the machine still needs to be taken into account.
You are most astute in your technology, my dear. Indeed, Incom have had problems with their recent test subjects, but that's why they've come to me.
Of
And
course,
at
yes.
that point, the archaeologist speaks and says, "Well, at least you're in line for a Nobel Prize. At least I didn't have mine snatched underneath my hands."
Oh, what happened in that regard, Mom?
She rolls his eyes and says, I'm being facetious." She motions over to the other table opposite. It's like, another archaeologist is here, but she's the one who had the greatest find of all time. Whereas me, I'm still looking for my big find.
What um what what were you two? What were you? Was it the same thing you were looking for, or
Oh,
just two
oh
different?
no, no, no. Like I say, I'm just looking for my big break. But that woman over there, she is the one who found she's the one who found the Abyssium symbiotes on Buthai 12. I'm sure you've heard about that discovery.
That might have passed me by. Do you mind reminding me about it?
Of course, Abyssian symbiotes being an ancient species of symbiotes that were thought destroyed. In fact, it's illegal to own specimens. Afra over there found the last remaining civilization, supposedly, that was lost.
Oh wow.
I think it was Afra. Is that am I right there, Doctor? At which point Sato nods, says, "Yes, Dr. Chile Lona Afra. She's not who you would expect."
There's some deep cut lore.
Holy shit! There is cream of the cream on this gala.
Yeah.
Yeah, he certainly sounds like an interesting individual. But I'd like to get more information. I'd like to know more about discoveries you've made. I mean, even if you've not made your big discovery that puts your name on the map, there's surely other things that you found of interest.
She grumbles. I was shut down. The Empire declined my request to go to Tython.
Oh, the small set of my eyes widen. And it's like Tython. I think what Tython isn't that a legend of some that's some sort of fairy story I've heard of.
She says, "Oh, it's out there. Just the Empire don't like people to have it on their charts. Thing is, there's so many temples down on that planet related to the order, and she mouths Jedi at you. But she
Oh,
says,
I see.
but she
Yes.
says, but she says, there's thousands of historical, incalculable things to find on that planet. But do they let us go down there? No, all because in the name of all because a bunch of traitors decided they wanted to organize a war. It's not their fault that they had quite a they had quite the artistic flourish.
Yes, it certainly is a shame. I always thought it was because it was too close to the inner core that it became dangerous. The
Well,
black holes and everything.
well, it is dangerous, but thing is, what isn't dangerous in this galaxy? I could get run down by a
A
speeder
fair,
tomorrow.
I mean, a fair point. Yes.
Still, hopefully my next expedition will be much more fruitful.
Indeed, I hope to see your name in lights in the future.
Oh, trust me, I'll be getting a medal from Bail Organa himself.
I sure hope so. Thank you for your time, both of you, doctors.
I think of that we switch back to Helene.
Okay.
You're dropping names left and right.
I mean, I'm going further down here. See if anybody catches my attention or I catch their attention.
Okay, let's have a look here. Um, um, you do notice that the woman here is wearing senatorial garb. She's not a scientist. She's a senator.
Okay.
Who's there?
Excuse me.
That's right. As she
Someone knocked at the door and dog's like, ah!
It's like danger.
Yeah. All right. So senatorial garbs.
As
She
she
looks like
looks- she-
is it Miralian?
Moralian, yes.
Is that what it?
Moralian,
Yeah.
yes. As she kind of meets you and says, "Ah, are you one of the representatives from the one of the universities?"
I'm Dr. Lorraine Led.
She extends her hand. Senator Varric Malden.
Charmed.
I'm
So
one
what
of the.
brings you to the event such as this?
Well, I'm the Senate. I am a prominent senator from here on Mawan. We support education. I'm here to put supporting education initiatives. We want to try and get a university, an academic institution built here on Mawan. That's why I'm hoping to get some advice and hopefully some academics to come and work at our university.
A tremendous idea. You know, I think I may know somebody who would be a perfect fit at an institution like that. Have you
Oh.
met Dr. Zenith, who works at one of the medical bays?
I don't recognize the
nearby?
name. No.
Quite a brilliant woman. I've seen her work in action. She very much knows her field. I think she'd be a wonderful fit. Definitely worth talking to her when you get the opportunity.
I'll make it my business. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Doctor
Lorraine Led.
Doctor Led. And what brings you here?
I am always looking to meet new people within the field. I'm a cyberneticist. I have my apprentice here with me. We're possibly looking at making new friends, getting some funding, just getting to know the local people and all the gathering of scientific minds here. It's a wonderful event to visit.
At that point,
I don't like the dark side point flipping.
Yeah.
I saw the corner of my eye and I was like,
I didn't think you would. As you noticed that the Admiral and the Compnal region pass by you into here. Now this is open, so
Mhm.
and at that point, the Admiral's like, "Are you certain, Agent?" At that point, Agent
I've got a
Oran
bad feeling about this.
Agent Oran says, "I I've run it through the datapad multiple times, Admiral. It's her. She's here. The one that she's been seeking.
Fuck.
At that point, you see her hand the datapad over. Give me a perception check just to to have a look at what to get a glimpse of it, please, Helene.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna flip a light side.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Difficulty?
1 purple dice.
1 purple dice. So I've got 2 yellow, 1 green, 1 purple. Let's go. That's good.
Yes.
On the front of it, you see Sky's image and her name and wanted for crimes against the Empire.
I turn to the senator. It's been wonderful to chat with you. I just realized something I need to do, but I will talk with you later. And I turn and should quickly move along.
And that's where we're going to end the session.
No.
Oh, goodness.
I got a bad feeling about it. I knew I didn't want to go in that room.
Oh, dear me.
Oh boy.
I mean, that betrayal obligation had to come up at some point, didn't it?
I know.
It did.
Right then. So
I'm being bullied.
I just saw the chat. God fucking damn it. I'm gonna give
Being
everyone
a
here...
Jedi, they said. It'll be fun, they
It'll
said.
be fun, they said. You gotta do crazy powers, they said. You got a lightsaber, they said. I'm gonna give everyone here 10 experience points.
Yay.
Great.
Can anyone wrangle any more from me with the motivations?
Nope.
Let me have a look. Because I think, you know, I don't usually get a chance to wrangle this one. I have a motivation for ambition, glory. Yeah, as like a long-term goal for Helena. She wants, you know, pursue like a career outside of the casino and kind of be involved in the sort of glamour and pomp of, you know, high society. I feel like taking the lead in this sort of
Absolutely.
this performance and, you know, getting the clothes and putting us all together.
Yep.
I feel like that kind of plays into that.
No argument. 2 experience points extra.
Yeah.
Any more? Anyone else?
No, I'm not wrangling anything.
No.
Not this
Alright.
time.
All right.
No, there's nothing I could do.
So we'll pick this up next time, hopefully with a lemming as well. And see how this is going to go down, because you've still got a mission to do, Helly.
Sorry, what was that?
You still got a mission to do.
I do. It's it's an interesting mission. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it yet.
Yeah, I know.
Both as a player and as a character.
Yep, that was the whole intention.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Like I'm gonna have to dwell on that a bit.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
I-
and if I find out, the force is gonna kick me in the shins.
Mhm.
Yeah, like the fact that it's like, oh, I can give you information where your husband is, but you have to kill
For a
someone.
price.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the price isn't money. The price is a life.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm intrigued, excited.
But yeah, jobs never go right. There's always a complication.
Of course.
I know, but I hate it.
So we're going to pick this up next time. I want to thank all of you who are in the chat joining us. I especially want to thank those of you that have been chatting. TDS, I did see that you replied. Thank you so much for that. I apologize if I caused any offense. I just it was weird kind of collection of...
Just gotta be sure.
Yeah, it's got to be sure. Never too safe these days. I want to thank everyone who's joined us today. You can, of course, follow me on Twitter and, of course, join the Discord. We'll let you know when we're going to go live for these things. It's usually once a month on a Sunday. So, yep. We've not got our next session drilled out because we've got a busy month next month with UK Games Expo. So we'll probably arrange a session at some point in late June or whatever. I'll discuss with these 5 because one of them's absent at some point. Anyway, I want to thank you all for joining me here at Scratch Post. We scratch the gaming itch. I want to thank David.
Yep.
I want to thank Connor.
Danke.
I want to thank Burr.
It was fun.
And I want to thank Shadow for being my players.
Yeah.
And I will see you all next time. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.